Well, hello there. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. We are live streaming the St. Kilda versus Sydney match. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. You guys didn't see the stream that I did before. We streamed Richmond versus North Melbourne. Richmond won by 33 points, and they are moved to the top 9 on the ladder, and close to the top 8. They will be versing GWS next week, and then also Hawthorn. And if they lucky, they'll be in the finals against one of most of the top tougher sides. So will be very interesting if they move to the finals. But we'll focus on Richmond next week. We are going to be focusing in this match against St. Kilda versus Sydney, and this will be a very cool match and interesting to see. Both teams have been playing very well in this premiership season, and cannot wait to see who is going to be winning this match. So, if St. Kilda wins, I do not know what place that will be, but I'll check in a second because I have to have dinner. But I'll let you guys know what place that will be if they win this match against Sydney. And I don't know what place Sydney will be at if they defeated St. Kilda. So, let me go ahead now. The match will start in about 4 minutes, but I just did a poll saying who do you think will win this match, St. Kilda or Sydney, and basically majority of people said Sydney. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to be winning.
Next move.
But we got an ad, so wait until the ad goes away and I can show you guys the screen. But how is everyone doing today? Drop a like in the stream and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And that's basically it. So we're just going to be waiting until ads finish and then I'll show you guys the screen. But we had almost at least 200 people in the stream like before for Richmond and North Melbourne. So appreciate everyone dropping a like. We had like almost 20 likes, so that was pretty amazing as well. Well, yeah, one of the tough people we have to see here. Watch out for Ben Wong, guys, for St. Kilda, because he's very good at marking, and also Lance Franklin. So we'll see how Ben Wong and Lance Franklin will do in this match, because this will be interesting to see. Alright, here you go.
Man on your telly.
Good evening to you, Howie. Biggest name in the game, and goals per game. He looks good. It's going to be really interesting watching what St Kilda do, because there's no Dougal Howard, there's no James Frawley, so Callum Wilkie has to get first crack. You think the only other couple of tools they've got are Tom Highmore and Dara Joyce down back. So
alright, guys, I'm going to have dinner now, so enjoy the footy of the first quarter.
If Buddy goes
Sydney
off, but
versus
let's hope he
St.
does,
Kilda,
because that's what we want to see.
Yeah,
He's been a wonderful
guys.
defender, Callum Wilkie, since coming to St Kilda, but he's giving away 8 centimetres and almost 20 kilos on Buddy Franklin, so he's going to have his work cut out. He's going to need some support from his teammates tonight to help him, as we see the coin toss.
Thanks, guys.
It'll be the Swans kicking down to the Frawley end. The Saints will go down to the Lockett end. Dane Rampy, key for the Swans tonight. You know what a wonderful defender he is.
Such an exciting team as well, Jason. You just look at the young stars, and you talk about Buddy, but then you've got the younger players, and you get Heaney going up for hangers in the forward line. They're just a real bum on seat style of team.
They've snuck under our guard, the Swans, Howie. They rebuilt while no one was looking. All of a sudden, all these great young players have come through, and that's rejuvenated and reinvigorated the senior players who are really enjoying playing with them.
Well, they tick a lot of boxes, the Swans, but the one area for improvement, if they are to win a flag in 2021, is going to be their contested ball and clearance game. And in particular, you see there, the ground ball since round 16, they're slowly improving it. it's been an issue and an area of concern. But this is the one, the ground ball post clearance. So when it's loose balls throughout the game, out on those contests, if the Swans can continue to improve in that area, Jace, we know their offense is awesome. We know their defense is really strong. If they can just win that contested ball number, it just gives themselves more of an opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating watching the clearances tonight, because neither of these teams in particular of late has been a very strong clearance side. So great opportunity for both of these teams to get on top around the stoppages.
You're just joining us, a late change.
Big one.
Mills just looked a bit proppy in the warm-up. He is out of the side. Rowbottom was the medical sub. He starts the game, and Clark is the medical sub, and Bytel is the medical sub for the Saints. Saturday night football. Here we go. It is the Swans taking on the Saints.
Plenty to play for both sides. Swans still looking to get into the top 4. St Kilda hanging in there for a chance in the top 8. And it's Marshall. He gets over the top of his former teammate, Hickey. And Papley starting in the centre bounce. Gets it out to Lloyd. There's going to be a free kick to go the way of Hayward. There's Tom Highmore. Got that match up on Will Hayward. As Rui and Jace have told us, undersized down in defence tonight, St Kilda. There is Callum Wilkie. So Hayward going to drive it to the top of the square. Reid was there. Well done, Sinclair. Got in front. Back into the side tonight after missing last week with a slight hamstring.
We've closed Marvel Stadium. Chilly evening in Melbourne. And Orts Steele gets a hurried kick out of the pack. Higgins is in front possession. Comes to the ground. Dawson, who's been in incredible form recently. Now St Kilda just hack it out of the defensive zone. Down towards Membry. And a low ball. It was ineffective too. It was off the boot of Burns. It'll come back the other way in a hurry.
Young McInerney had a career-high 28 disposals last week. He's getting better by the week, McInerney. Another one of these youngsters for the Swans, having a career-best season. And see what's ahead of Cunningham. It's not a lot at the moment. They're going to be patient with the ball.
Dane Rampy with the ball. He's got the job on Max King and was very physical. Before the ball was even bounced, he was into him.
Goes wide to a big pack of players. Hill was in that contest. Steele came through hard. Goulden, clever. Lloyd and back to McInerney. You can hear the players through the effects. Caught barking the instructions, but the kick only as far as Highmore.
Highmore, defensive side of the wing, steps himself into a little bit of trouble, gets out of it with a short ball. 1-2, back to Highmore. He just wobbles the ball forward. The Swans are working hard defensively. Parker just gets the job done week after week, puts it out in front of Hewitt, runs away from his man, comes back a second time. Hewitt just eases the ball down the line, but it was across the boundary line. Centre wing.
Well, we spoke about Rampy, Jace, getting into Max King. He would have gone to school on the West Coast game, where King was allowed to run and launch at everything without any sort of body contact before the ball arrived. And if you want to play athletics with Max King, you're going to be in for a really big day. So we know Dane Rampy, what a great body player he is.
It looks like Dunstan trying to get to Parker as the Swans will win the clearance. Heaney started up on a wing. Good pressure by the Saints. They turn the footy over and they'll take the advantage. And they've got the runners. The ball didn't quite sit for Higgins. Of course, was involved in that famous game earlier in the year where he kicked the 1-goal 6. Had a couple of opportunities to win the game for the Saints. As the Swans go forward again, Reid. Good mark in front of Dara Joyce.
That's 50 against Marshall.
Yeah.
Just can't do it. It's pretty basic. You've got to be more aware than that. We know the umpires have been red hot on it and made no attempt to get outside of the 5-metre zone. Ran straight through it. He was trying to chase Rowbottom, so the defensive intent was there, but you've got to know that if you get that close, you're going to get penalised.
I was watching Sam Reid in his pre-game warm-up, having some set shots, kicking them with ease, like shelling peas, the boys, which makes him no chance for this, does it?
Third game back since round 6. Jason.
Why?
Wow.
Why do you do it?
My fault.
Every week.
He just completely lost the ball there in the run-up.
So the Saints will reset. Quite a required distance. Wilkie's got the big job on Franklin. Works the ball off to the half-back line. Butler does well. Use his body. Trying to get away from McInerney now. The Saints, McKenzie. He loses his jumper in the contest. Cunningham. The Swans, a chain of hand pass. Back to McInerney. Low ball forward, doesn't really favour the forwards. Papley, though, hits the ball with speed, gets it across to Wicks. Dangerous in front of goal. Papley loves a goal. Squaring ball, though, is really, really good from Tommy Papley. And it lands in the hands of Goulden directly in front. That was unselfish from the bunyip flyer, Papley.
Can't say I'm 100% sure that Goulden was the intended target of that square up, but he did kick it to a dangerous spot. Good persistence to keep the ball alive, and they get the opportunity to kick the first goal.
10 goals this season for Errol Goulden. Rising Star nomination in round 1 in his first game. To kick the opener for the Swans from directly in front. Put it in your book.
It's his 15th game for the season, Errol Goulden, and every time you see him, you just get more impressed. He's a clever player, uses the ball well, does all the right things. One of those young players we're talking about that has come in and really lifted the Swans. I suspect he was trying to find Heaney. Was it Heaney? In actual fact, it was Dawson over the back that had run forward to create a little bit of space, who I think the kick was intended for. But in the end, they find a target.
Spending a lot more time in the midfield, Errol Goulden, after spending the majority up forward to begin the season, and looked really dangerous. He's got that split sort of more around the 60-40 forward mid stuff now, and you'd have to assume it's because he's such a good user through the middle part of the ground that they want him getting his hands on the ball in all areas.
Yeah, still number 1 in the competition at retaining the ball, going inside 50, Errol Goulden. He's a beautiful user, and he's got his 11th goal for the season. And the Swans have got the first. And it's going to be Papley again, starting in that centre bounce. Was in there again towards half forward. Well done, Sinclair. Kept his eye on the football, did it nicely. And here's Jones, the former Swan. Goes towards King, but Ken will pop in the space, takes the mark. And Dean Kent. There's a couple of one-on-ones up ahead. One of them's Sharman. He pulled the kick beautifully. He made Sharman work into the space. And the young man takes a nice mark on the boundary line. Yeah. A couple of goals last week.
Great call, Joey. That was just the kick drawing the lead. So Sharman was sort of hovering in a spot with McCartan opposed to him, and there wasn't much space there to actually move into. So if he had have gone early, then he would have just chewed it all up. Kent did well with his timing.
Mid-season recruit. As we said, the 2 goals last week. That's a pretty good effort. That's a terrific effort from the youngster.
Well, that's one of the things they're going to have to do, the Saints, if they're going to be a chance tonight. Their accuracy this season is the second worst in the competition. They're up against the team that is the number 1 kick for goal in terms of accuracy. So they need to take their opportunities. It's a great kick. You both called it correctly, Joey and Root. He actually didn't lead. He didn't demand the ball. He didn't quite know how to get involved in that play. But the kick from Kent was so good, it made him go to it. What they would give for the ability to convert from these sort of positions on a consistent basis.
Yeah, it's troubled them.
There it is.
See there,
they're not great numbers.
Goal apiece early doors. A couple of young guns, Goulden and Sharman, for their respective sides. Away we go again in the middle. Parker grabs out of the middle, lost traction there for a moment, gets it to Florent, tries to weave his way through the traffic, just hooks it round the corner towards Heaney. The Swans again. Kennedy, can he hit a target? It's a short ball. Tracking it back, though, it was Webster. Sends it back from where it came down the line. It's a good ball.
It's with Kent once again. Had his issues this season, Dean Kent. Just the 5 games, and he goes towards Sharman again. Strong hands. Nice start. Terrific mark, Cooper Sharman. Boy went over and played in the Sandford, got his opportunity, and now here he is, getting the Saints off to a good start. The kick into the pocket, just in front of Marshall and Hickey there, and thrown in.
Full disposal already for Parker. Missed 1 game in 5 seasons, Luke Parker. Quite extraordinary. His resilience to get up week in, week out. Hickey, Membry in the ruck. There is Parker by hand. Quick chain back out to Kennedy. And for the exit ball. to a contest, and Hill does enough to get her across the line.
Well, I think, Joey, that's a matchup they used earlier in the year, isn't it? Sam Wicks on Brad Hill in the second half earlier in the year, and that's the matchup they've started the game with tonight.
And it looks like you can see Wicks trying to get onto the back of Brad Hill. Not going to give him any time and space. Steele, game 100 for the Saints. What a leader he's become. Sends a high ball, top of the square. Membry had to sit, couldn't take the mark. Falls to Higgins, around the body. The Swans want touched. Ray Chamberlain says all clear.
I'm back, guys.
Got 2 in a row.
Well, if it stands, it was a crafty little kick from Jack Higgins. He almost just threw the ball up in the air so that he could pivot on the spot and get that leverage on the ball, spinning his body. The Sydney players have appealed for touch, so we'll go through the process and see if it stands. Umpire's call is a goal, but really good fall of the ball presence.
Jack Higgins kicked 1-5, and 1-6 it was earlier in the year when St Kilda just went down to the Swans by 9 points. They came to the SCG where it was almost best on ground.
Yeah, you're right. One of their better players that day, absolutely. He could have had a career day if he had have kicked straight, but
that led to a certain nickname, didn't it, Joey?
Missy Higgins. Okay. Known as for a day.
You might get in trouble if you say.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect start for St Kilda and for Jack Higgins.
Start for the Saints. They've kicked the last 2. Georgie Hewitt was held in the middle of the contest. Both pride jumpers looking fantastic. The 6th pride game. Now Blakey, rangy style, bangs the ball forward. First side of Franklin, it comes out to the back of the pack. There is Dawson, brings it back by hand. Umpire said it was across the line.
Just get the feeling that the instruction has been for anyone that finds himself in the defensive 50, look for Franklin as a bit of a beacon. There was about 5 of them all converged at the same time. They're trying to spoil the footy.
Hickey with the palm down. Parker being busy early. Shovels it out to Florence. Off one step. It's going to go close, but he's got a couple to beat. And he's going to get the free kick.
It's come from the furthest umpire from the action.
Thank you.
He's paid that from... He wasn't the next umpire. He was the umpire after the next umpire, Ray Chamberlain.
And Buddy steps around. He's got his first.
Good job, buddy.
14 to go to 1,000.
He's not happy, Brad Hill. He's pleading his case. So he was the one that got back to make a 2-on-1 with Wilkie against Franklin, the high ball coming forward. And he's probably not the one that you really want. But he did grab the left arm. So if you're going to hold onto the left arm and not allow a player to put his arms up to mark the ball, it's a free kick. So that's a really good decision. It's a really good decision, but it's a gift of a goal. He's just the wrong player you want dropping back to give a defensive chop out, Brad Hill.
The thing Brad Hill did wrong there was he could have come across in the air, but he got there too early and he was camped under the footy and ended up in a wrestle with Franklin. What you want to do in that situation is hold your distance so that you can run in and actually just spoil the ball through the line or jump into Franklin.
It's a very unfamiliar role for Brad Hill, but it's one that he has to learn if you're going to play half back.
That's right, when it's your turn.
Gee, you know you're big time when there's a graphic on the screen every time you kick a goal. 14, 13, 12 to go. 14 at the moment from Franklin. Below the knees. Go the way of the Saints. In the hands of Steele in game. 117. Had a great year. He just munged forward towards Burns. Good by hand though to Webster. Long ball forward. Kent's at the back of the pack. Membry at the front of the pack. Here comes Kent now. Butler. Ferocious tackle. Just tossed Blakey to the ground. The Swans looking for Hayward. Bouncing ball. Danger here again for the Swans. Caulfield back in the side. Hewitt run down from behind.
Oh, good tackle.
Good tackle.
It's good pressure from both sides early, bringing the heat. When that ball's in dispute in congested situations, it is fierce.
Been a fast start to this game. 2 goals apiece. Jones got the hands free. Steele again. Steps around, row bottom. You heard the umpire call touch, so it's going to be a live ball. Swans have got the numbers back and with a bit of composure. Rampy finds Cunningham. He goes wide to Stevens.
Yeah, it was a great kick. Just finding a mark in that situation from that kick, so important.
This is usually where the Swans have been so good at their ball movement. Saints have got to be sharp, and they do well. And they lock it up in their front half. They might even get a free kick here. Dawson. Heard the umpire there, didn't make a genuine enough attempt.
Free kick goes the way of Caulfield. Hill was the runner, ignored that option. City side centre wing for Caulfield. One more provides an option by hand. They elect to go that way. Drops the ball about 30 from home. Massive pack of plays. First side of King. The hands are up. When he reaches out. Good luck stopping that man taking the mark.
Well, that's what you spoke about pre-game, Nick Revolt. He did this against West Coast. They kicked the ball where he was able to run and jump. And if you can give him a run and jump at the footy, no one's getting to the point that he's actually attacking the football. Did well to hold off Rampy and then allow himself to run and jump. So you can just see he's growing week by week in this game.
14-22 before the bye. A lot of talk about his accuracy since the bye. 20 goals for in the 6 games since. So whatever he's doing is working for King. From a slight angle.
Go.
He's pretty happy with it.
And gives it to Rampy.
My word, he does a bit of push and shove as well. Kent gets in there. And King just says, the goal's on the board. That'll do me.
Well, he's gone straight to Rampy here.
This is a direct response to what happened before the first bounce, Rui.
Yeah, well, Rampy was into him. So, but this is what you want. You want this movement in a shoebox if you're a key forward. If you want to stand and be a sitting duck on Dane Rampy, look at the work he's putting into him. He will never have experienced a game like this from a defender putting that much work into him. But the best thing you can do is be on the move, be hard to play against. This is a big evolution in Max King's game, and he got the result.
That movement and aggression and strength that he showed there is the best I've seen from him. That is the best. The penny's dropping. That is brilliant, not to just allow the opposition player to molest you, to maul you, to hang on to you. He's getting proactive, and I like it.
And maturing Max King. It's his 35th goal for the season. He gets the Saints back in front as Hill, across half-back, finds Sinclair. A couple of their runners, and that's a good kick to Crouch. A bit of time and space on the wing. Has the runner in McKenzie. He wants to get back on his left foot. He opens up the field and then kicks a high ball. It might give Max King a chance to fly. He did. Couldn't take the mark. Papley, busy early. Did it nicely, although missed Heaney. Highmore back to Hill, and they'll reload again off half.
10 minutes to
Saints
go.
to Wilkie.
Entertaining start to Saturday night footy. The Saints lead it by a kick. Sharman, Higgins and King, and Goulden and Franklin for the Swans on the board. McKenzie. To come inboard on the left. Takes a bit off the kick. Down towards King again. Splits the pack and wrestles with a teammate.
Man in front.
And to mark.
That man in front is Kent, but the big boy's claiming it, but no, the umpire's listening to you, Jason. Kent doesn't want it, mind you.
But again, we're loving what we're seeing from Max King. He's attacking the footy. This is aggression we haven't really seen too much of.
It's the aggressive movement before the ball arrives. Sometimes when a defender wants to get you in a wrestle like that and put all that work in, they're really just trying to force you to succumb before the ball's even got there. Engage in a wrestle, do something that doesn't come naturally.
And then you lose your ability to run and jump when the footy's there.
Hasn't kicked a goal this season, Dean Kent. And that
Bad
wobbled way
kick.
off the side of the boot.
Arrow bound to the full.
You can see why he was pretty keen to give it to King. It wasn't a good sign when he was pleading with the umpire saying, no, sir, please not me.
It was good signs, that Max King wanted it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wants the footy. He's looking lively. So are the Saints. It's been a good start. They led this one by 6 points, and Highmore been wonderful since he's come into the side for the Saints. The good kicking board. It just hung a little bit too long. Well done, McInerney. St Kilda have got the numbers. And they want to try and get it to the user in Hill. He's forced just to go wide. And now Sinclair again to Crouch. So they work it to the 50. Can he find a mark inside 50? He pops it up for Burns, but floating across Membry. Good ball movement by the Saints. And they'll get another crack at it. And look to kick their 4th goal inside the first 15 minutes.
Run out, please.
Just a good kick that allowed Membry to run and jump at the foot. He didn't look perfect. It was just a little chip to space. But it allowed Membry to run and jump at the footy. And Luke Parker just couldn't get there to spoil.
Had his issues in front of goal this year as Tim Membry. 26 goals, 23. It is usually one of the more reliable set shots in this St Kilda lineup. Can he get there 4th? He sneaks it home, and the Saints are up and about.
Well, they're able to do something so far that they haven't really been able to execute all that often this year, and that's just be efficient when you're going inside 50 and then in front of goal, the most important kick. So this is a really good start because you're all of a sudden, you've generated your own enthusiasm by getting reward on the scoreboard for your great work up the field.
Yeah, it's important that they got themselves into the game early. Whether they can play 4 quarters of this is what remains to be seen.
For the last 5 goals of the match going the way of St Kilda. Chamberlain getting things set in game 350. Congratulations to Ray. Many grand finals and finals in there. A man that provides a bit of entertainment. And a good bounce too. Hickey wins it.
High contact, free kick, Sydney.
Yeah.
Stand, Rowan.
Marshall just ran past the footy there, lost sight of it and ended up getting Hickey high.
Hickey with a driving ball, deep forward. Reed, front possession,
mark.
good hands.
There's been plenty of afters with both teams at both ends.
Look at this.
Drives it forward, vacant forward line, and Ollie Florin will just run in, accept the goal.
That's what you do after you've kicked your first one out in the full. You pass someone in the goal square and you make a surgery of it. But look, it's not dissimilar to what we're talking about Max King at the other end. Sam Reid's strength, he's got this incredible reach, and if he has an uninterrupted run at the footy, it's very difficult to get up to that point that he's marking the ball at to spoil. But what you can't do, after someone's had a really poor first set shot, you can't allow them to do that. That just takes all the pressure off. Well, if I was a betting man, Drew, I'd be back in Sydney to win the centre clearance here, because we've had 7 of them, they've won them all.
7 Reds, it's bound to be black now, isn't it?
You can see that there being a big concern for St Kilda, and it's not. It's 8 Reds. They win another one, and they're under pressure again, the St Kilda defence. They do it well this time. Marshall has a couple to beat. He'll get the free kick. Against Tom Hickey. Rowan Marshall. He's just starting to find his form in the last couple of weeks. Since coming back from that foot injury. He's going to have a big game tonight. And he's just going to force to kick this one long down the line. King again. Geez, looking good. Full of confidence, takes a strong mark.
Sydney free kick.
Reversed.
In reverse.
Straight turn, thanks, Max. You're coming back, time back on, coming back for a block. And you put him on the stand. It's a free kick.
So Ray getting himself involved in the game early, Root. Game 350. He's had some big calls and they've reversed that, so it would have been an opportunity for St Kilda. Instead it was against Membry for, it seemed like going back to block illegally. And the kick from Sinclair Smothered. Rowbottom, the late inclusion as Callum Mills withdrew only minutes before the first bounce. And now Wilkie goes towards the wing of Blakey. Revelation since he's gone to half-back for the Swans. Takes a nice mark.
Floats across the pack. Pumps the ball forward, down towards Reed again. Gets out the back. Jones is there to mop up. Gets through 1-2. Tried 3 tackles, 1 too many. He's lost it as Jones. Hayward is in his face. He'll get the free kick. Just took on 1 too many tacklers there, Jones.
Yeah, which was a strange decision. He had Sinclair riding shotgun. Like, I just don't understand why you don't give that. You know the Sydney pressure is going to be hot. You can see there Sinclair on his left. 23
goals, 7 this season for Will Hayward. It's his 17th game. A couple in a row for the Swans. Starts at skinny and stays that way.
It's a free kick against Membry, so you can see coming back to block here and just takes Florent out of the contest.
Not a heck of a lot in it. I wouldn't have thought he was running in a straight line. Didn't go out of his way to do it.
Ross went low looking for Steele, just over his head. Swans will turn the football over. It's where they've been so effective this season, scoring off these turnovers. Robot goes through hard. Well done, Kent. Wraps him up. Good pressure in this one. Both teams are high-pressure side. It's been a good start. Membry, who gave away that free kick earlier, and now the Swans again. Hewitts spins back out of trouble to McCartan. And Cunningham forced now to kick a high ball. Sitting under it again, high ball. Another nice intercept mark.
Goes to Ross. Impressive start by Highmore. Now Dunstan. Wobbly ball down the line. Not able to take the mark as Sharman. Kicked a ripping early goal. Lloyd, usually pretty proficient by foot. No exception here to Stevens. Good build-up from the Swans. Papley in an important contest. Hitting it hard is Webster. And the Saints will send it back the other way. They've got Sinclair. You can't miss him with that hair. Bangs the ball forward. He's got Butler out on his own, deep in the pocket. Wants to go inboard. He stops and steadies and calms things down a bit.
The worst part about that kick from Sinclair, as we come back inboard, is he had him in space. He had to kick it to the corridor side of him, and he gets a 45-degree angle shot for goal.
McKenzie now plays on, raking left foot ball. Down towards Marshall, sport by him from Hickey. Swans under pressure. Dawson had no time, got rid of the foot as best he could. Kent, hard man. Dunstan, snapping ball, dangerous position. Blakey affects the contest, comes to ground. Higgins bends around the corner.
Good catch.
And Higgins has got it.
Just runs very quickly and scores it.
We've seen Blakey attack a few in the air, haven't we? He took the really good mark here on centre wing, intercept mark, and had the similar opportunity here to just tidy up for Sydney when the ball got snapped back across the body by Dunstan, spilt the mark, and like any good crummer, Higgins, again, just right place at the right time. Here's a fly from Blakey. You'd want to be swallowing those. In search of the crowd there.
He was on it like a shot though, wasn't he? That is classic small forward opportunism.
A couple of great snaps, right foot and left foot now.
It's been a really nice pickup this year. There's Jack Higgins. It's 22 goals now for the season. He's got a couple in this one. And accuracy's helping the Saints, but they're playing good footy, and they finally win a centre clearance from Dunstan towards Blakey. Like Kent let him go in the tackle, and you don't want to give Blakey too much grass in front of him. We know he loves to run and carry. Although Webster did it nicely. Holds up Wicks. We'll get a stoppage on centre wing.
Done this a couple of times now, Blakey, where he's just ridden the tackle.
Well, they give you so long to get rid of it now. There's no pressure on the player to get rid of it straight away.
Jason Dunstall, Nick Rewalt, Lee Montagna, Sarah Jones on Saturday night footy. Ross drives the ball forward. Impressive Sharman. He was good when he came on last week. Kicked a couple, and he's already kicked a nice goal from a similar position this evening.
That kick from Seb Ross couldn't have been more disadvantageous for Sharman, and yet he was still able to negotiate traffic and get through and mark the ball.
His first two games started as sub. Didn't get a run in his first, but it still counts to your career tally, and then came on last week. He said kicked a couple. He's already kicked one already. As Cooper Sharman, likely looking tight. Tight in the pocket, and that will not sneak in for a score. There's an outlier from Sharman on what we've seen so far in front of goal.
This one's called to play on, not 15. You heard the call. Dawson, they've got such good hands, been such a good option for the Swans coming out of defence this season. Buddy Franklin getting a long way up the ground.
Not sure how Wilkie didn't get a free kick there for an arm over the shoulder. None of the umpires saw that one.
A lot of numbers around this football, not going anywhere.
Sydney has sent 2 up to the stoppage. Open forward line.
Parker started well, 8 disposals for him. 4 clearances already, being busy. Wicks, he's got no space. St Kilda's brought the pressure in this game. They're up and about.
Come out behind. Play on.
And again, it's Parker who's able to get those arms free, as he always does. Dawson flicks it back to Lloyd. Has papped in a long lead. Webster's wearing him closely, but he's able to get some separation this time. Takes a nice mark.
Franklin's one out, wants it in the air.
Minute and 20 seconds to go.
Said Ross drops back into the space to double team Franklin. Papley's forced to go short to hit it.
Next match will be tomorrow.
He's
Essendon
extended his
versus
lead.
Western
He's
Bulldogs.
way up out of the forward 50. Going towards a couple of Swans. Goulden, Papley, snapping ball. Tommy Papley.
The goal.
Wonderful finish from the man from Bunyip. Enjoys a goal, enjoys a celebration.
Couldn't have struck that better. That is so pure. That snap around the corner had some serious late bend on it. But he was the one that took the mark up on the attacking side of the wing, and he was able to follow the ball down. Credit to him, and then he runs at the right angle.
It was almost unplayable, boys. Just that late bit of in-swing. Unbelievable.
That's huge.
Jimmy Anderson versus India last night.
Goodness me. Nice bit of reverse on that one, Howie.
Entertaining contest.
Isn't it what? Efficient. So 11 inside 50s apiece for both sides. St Kilda 5 straight, Sydney 4-1.
Cracking first quarter of football. I know the Swans can certainly make it entertaining. It was an entertaining game against the Bombers last week, and certainly again tonight, been a red-hot first quarter of football. The umpire lets them play. Kennedy, as he's done so often, shovels it out to Florent.
40 seconds
the
to
kick.
go.
Joyce has got to be careful. Franklin did well not to give away the free kick, and he's going to force a stoppage.
Left mid. Rucks. Tom and Rowan beats.
So I think a bit of time left for the Swans here. Stoppage inside 50. Well, Dunstan left it for Steele. Steele didn't quite commit. But still a loose ball. And again,
Fine.
Hayward wrapped up.
Be careful, please. Road, Tom. Thanks. Watch out, please. Run up here.
Clearing his exit from the
Did you swim
contest.
the Bombers tomorrow? I just said yes.
Now Sydney pump it back forward, but Coffey was
bad
in
kick.
best position to cover it. Just slowing things down, dying stages of the term. Cracking start to this game on Saturday night at Marble. Florent has kicked the goal,
Time
takes a
will
good
sound.
mark outside.
There we
Good
go.
time. Nice start to this one. 9 goals kicked as Florent lets a barrel go. Nowhere near the distance. 9 goals kicked. Higgins has got a couple. Quarter time at Marble. It is the Saints 5 straight, 30, leading the Swans 4-1-25 by 5 points.
All right, quarter time. So, here is the scoreboard, guys. 30-25. St Kilda winning by 5 points. If you guys are an Adelaide fan, your team is winning by 1 point. All right, so very dominant quarter for Adelaide versus Port Adelaide, but they're doing pretty good so far. How do you live stream the games? You need to purchase a subscription on KO. Alright, because if you don't like purchase a subscription from KO, then of course, you know, when you try to stream it, your stream might get taken down. And then if you have like a PC, like a very good PC, like Windows, blah blah blah, you just need to download like OBS. Alright, OBS Studio. So I'll show you guys what it is. So if you go OBS Studio, this is the one, alright? So you go to the website, we'll say Windows, supports Windows 8, 8.1 and Windows 10. If you have a Mac, it will support macOS 10.13. And then if you have a Linux computer, it will also do that as well. And it's a free open source, blah blah blah, and you can see what it looks like. And you can stream this on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And you have like features there. So you got high performance full time video capturing. You got audio mixer. You got sources. You got configuration. You got settings like output and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. But if you do not like OBS, there's also another one that is Streamlabs. So this one here, if it works, yeah, this one has Windows, but you can also do Mac as well. But for this one, it's same as OBS basically. But yeah, you have like widgets. You can also do like chat boxes. When you want to monetize, you can do like goals, sponsor banner, stuff like that. It's pretty cool, to be honest. But there's many other companies are saying is OBS better than Streamlabs, blah blah blah. But but we are just waiting. Can you friend me on Fortnite? Have you sent me a friend request, bro? Because I try to find your name and it says it's not found. You have KO? Alright. Yeah, if you have KO and you have a subscription of it, then yeah, you could like stream it to other people. Yeah, I tried to search your name, but it didn't come up. It says it wasn't found for some reason. Okay, we got about at least a minute and 35 seconds, guys, until the second quarter starts. Can I stream it on my PS4? You cannot stream it on the PS4 because KO doesn't have an app on PS4. Because you need to use a PC to do it. Or you could do it on iPhone. But yeah, I heard that KO is currently testing the KO app for PS4. So it should be releasing in the near future, but they're currently testing it. But it's not being released. Can we play tomorrow? Yeah, here's my epic though. You want my epic? There we go. Alright, we are going to start the second quarter, guys. It is about to start.
Reflect on and say, hey, if I can do this against everyone, not just Dane Rampy, I'm going to be hard to play on.
That is the key. Do that.
I'm going to lie down my bed, guys.
All the big key defenders try to body him and put him off his run and jump at the footy. And he's played a hell of a lot better than one touch and one goal. He does have the 2 contested marks because he took one and then it was reversed. A decision paid against Tim Memory. But he's played a lot better than that.
Well, we've already seen a number of upsets this round. Going back to last night, the Giants defeating the Cats and the Gold Coast Suns here earlier at Marvel Stadium, the early game this afternoon, defeating Carlton. So can St Kilda be another team to cause an upset to the rampaging Sydney Swans? They've won 5 straight. They've been an offensive juggernaut. But St Kilda are taking it up to them, and it's been their pressure and their efficiency going forward. Getting ready for a big second quarter of footy. Jack Steele there, leading the troops beautifully. And Luke Dunstan trying to go head-to-head with Luke Parker.
5-point lead to the Saints to get things underway in the second term. If you're unfortunately in lockdown like a lot of Australia, hopefully the footy's giving you a bit of a lift on a very quiet Saturday night. Good game of footy here. 9 goals in the first term to light things up at Marvel. Marshall tries to extract it, got a high. Might want to take the advantage. Happily stops Jones in his tracks anyway. Pushing and shoving inside 50 for the Saints. A few blocks being put on. Marshall drives it with a really high ball down in that direction now. King comes from the side. Wasn't a factor. Kent was just hit at the back of the pack and got a perfect start for the Saints.
That is a rarity. That is something you almost never see from the Swans, not having that last line of defence. They normally have the sweeper over the back, someone that either drops back to the goal square or is at least on the defensive side of the contest. They all get drawn under the footy. That leaves Dean Kent all on his own, the simplest of chores, just to turn around and kick the goal.
So it was the movement before the ball arrived that created the confusion. You saw 4 pairs of St Kilda and Sydney players all working in a really confined area to create separation and block. Well, in the end, no one knew who was covering who for the Sydney Swans defenders. Kent slipped out the back and, luck's of fortune, the ball went where you really wouldn't want it to go if you're a defender.
We can even see behind the goals there, St Kilda forwards trying to look after one another. They know the Sydney Swans defenders love to play tight, 1v1, and they're working together, and it's paying off at the moment. Saints with a nice 11-point lead. So the Swans still dominating clearance. Just haven't been able to get bang for buck yet as Rowbottom wins another clearance. Franklin flies. This time it's Dawson who stays down. There's a player in the goal square. If he could get over the top, he couldn't.
What's that?
Good pressure by the Saints again. Forces the turnover.
A bit of the Franklin effect there, wasn't it? Two up in the air to try and spoil Dawson on the floor.
Hill to the outer side. Burns runs himself underneath it. Heaney, pretty quiet start to the game. Can explode though, Dawson.
I will. If I have a chance
He'll be disappointed.
Good mark there by
Burns. It was a good kick coming out of defence and he just misjudged it. You've got to take those. As soon as you turn it over like that, there's loose forwards sitting in holes.
Should hold that line.
15 goals won in 2019 for Jordan Dawson. 6-7 last year and 5-5 this year. Beautiful field kick of the football is Dawson. This one bangs into the post.
Class from Heaney there too.
Hill wants to get the ball moving. Gives it to Jared Joyce, who just blasted as far as he could. The free kick's gone against Butler. To Justin McInerney. Disposal number 6 coming up for him. Becoming a really important link in the chain for the Swans as the kick goes towards flight. Well done, Leo Connolly, the young man. Yet to touch the footy in this game, but got himself involved there. Gets it out of bounds. Both ruckmen start a long way back. Rowbottom getting busy. Parker. Pressure from behind, but Hewitt does well to get a high ball. A lot of players under this one again. Dawson tried to shovel it out. He heard the voice of Franklin. Hill under pressure, happy just to throw it on the boot. But Swans have got some numbers sitting there. Well done, Wilkie. And they'll get another stoppage.
Highmore, Nick, 10 disposals in the first term.
Yeah, 3 intercept marks as a part of that. That's the one part of the game he does so well. Really brave player, prepared to put himself in situations that most won't.
Game just 13, so there's some excitement there for Saints fans. Then bowls Butler. Jones picks it up well, had no time to get rid of the footy. Florin keeps it in, gets a block from a teammate. Clever handball. Hewitt, a little dark and a dive. McInerney now. Measures the ball forward. Marshall floats across the pack. Can't complete the mark. Underground handball. Sinclair, little slider.
He wanted to get it moving. He saw King in a bit of space.
Just a little slow.
Marshall goes in that direction now, but the Swans are able to get numbers back. It's McCartan, did it well. And now the Swans on the counter-attack. They want to get it to the open side. This is how they love to move the ball from the back half. Well, Blakey just lets his teammates know he wants to slow it down. Set it up and see if they can go and attack through the corridor. He continues his run, Blakey. He's normally a pretty good kick. He keeps it low, but Marshall, sitting back in the hole, takes a terrific mark.
Oh, it's a penetrating leg, isn't it?
Although he's coughed that one up, and it goes straight to Dawson, who
That's
doesn't
a goal.
need much
That's a
time and
mistake.
space. And off one step.
You
Well,
do
that's a
never, ever, ever cop
And Ratton
that
can't even
mistake
look.
because Sydney will
He
just
did
take
all the
that
hard
ball
work,
and
Rowan
kick it.
Marshall, and then just coughed it up.
And that's
It's really understand the
why
frustrations
they're
of
coming back
coaching,
Sydney.
isn't it? Fred
Not
Ratton
the coach
can't
from
believe
St
it.
Kilda from
They're
before.
playing well,
Wasn't
they've got
happy.
themselves in the contest, a good intercept mark, and the big fella gets up and says, I'll kick off one step without getting back from the man on the mark. No surprise that it was smothered, and you get punished when you turn it over at this level. He has been exceptional since the bye. In fact, he's had a strong year, but since the bye, he's gone to another level. Look at some of the names that he's in front of there in terms of player ratings.
Beautiful kick of the footy is Dawson. Steele is just bundled over by the strong body Kennedy. Lloyd floats it forward. Now Papley. Left footer to a contest on the wing. Caulfield uses his body nicely. Wins himself a possession. Marshall. Steele. Caulfield takes on the tackler, shrugs it, progresses. Dunstan now.
The disappointing part of that was Caulfield broke the tackle. He looked further downfield and he had nothing to go to. Had to go backwards.
Yeah, credit Sydney's defence. They just occupied all the really dangerous areas, shut it off.
We've got Nick Blakey at one end and Brad Hill at the other, who takes off from half back. It was a good kick to King. Couldn't quite hold on to it.
Carton did really well there. Rampy was beaten. He dropped off King and just timely across from the side. Enough body pressure on King to make sure he couldn't complete the mark.
Steele with strength, did it well. Trying to get the hands free, back to Crouch. Kicks it to a dangerous spot. Higgins thought he might have got the free kick, but Sydney through Ollie Florent. He's happy to go towards the wing, and Hill does well defensively. Just had to halve the contest and did it nicely.
So I think if you're Sydney at the moment, you're okay, you're feeling okay because you're in such good form. You know sides are going to come out red hot against you. So at the moment, they've absorbed St Kilda's best punch, I think, but they're right in the game. So from here, it's a matter of, okay, you're trying to come with us, can you sustain it?
Saints 6 goals straight. To highlight what Nick's saying, Franklin was full-blooded for the contest, but Caulfield having a nice little patch. It's an aggressive ball in ball. Here's some flow now through Hill. Dawson tracks him back. Highmore has to wait. Calm head. Again to Caulfield.
You just see the pressure of Sydney there, though.
Hill, no real opportunity for him to run so far today. To Ross. A little bit unsure is Seb Ross. Steps around Stevens. And drops it perfectly to Kent, who was in a little hole. And Kent kicked the opener of the term. Doesn't fancy the distance. Lead is on. Perfectly executed to Jack Steele.
You can't place enough emphasis on ball use, on players that can A, make the right decision, and B, execute the right kick. And we saw 2 occasions there. The one that found Kent inside 50, and then the one that found the lead here, and what hopefully should be a goal for Steele.
3 top 3 BNF finishes in the last 3 years, 1 in 2020. Another great year. Coaches votes in 8 of the last 9 rounds. That's the form he's in. Steele squeezes it home.
Part of the game he's really growing in, Jack Steele. He's not quite in the Dustin Martin, Dangerfield mould when he goes forward, but he is building that part of his game, absolutely. So he's a really good contest player. So you put your best contest players in a situation where you want to win the footy. I mean, this isn't a contested mark, it's just a stand and lead. You'd like Rowbottom to be able to put in a bit more physical pressure in that situation, but
I love the way he took Rowbottom forward there, because all of a sudden Rowbottom's at full back, he's got big players around him, he's thinking, well, I'm probably not going to be required here. And his player leads up at the footy and he's not switched on. Really good play from Jack Steele.
13 goals for Jack Steele. One of only 3 Saints players to have played all 19 games for the season. And he's got them back out to a 10-point lead as Heaney trying to get involved in this contest. Goes into the centre bounce, goes out wide. Seb Ross was held without the football. So Ross looking for some movement. There's not much up ahead. He's going to try and invent something. He's got to be careful. He's able to get boot to ball, but might come back because Blakey is able to pick it off. Heaney went into the centre bounce, and that kick from Wicks under pressure again, out of bounds.
how good does he look across half back though? Blakey. Great coaching move, I think, from John Longmire. You know, they talk about getting him up to a wing, and forward can take a while for young players to learn. We're talking about a forward line that functions pretty well with Franklin and Heaney and these boys up there anyway, so looks right at home.
Nick Rewald, Jason Dunstall, Saturday night football. Higgins got a couple in the first term. Crouch. Wobbly ball forward. Kennedy had his name on it as soon as it left the boot. Steele up to 12. Parker with 11 for the Swans. They go the switch through Lloyd. And now Rampy. And an option further down the line. Papley on a long lead. Hands out in front.
Great connection then from Rampy and Papley.
Nothing really presents for Papley, so he goes to Blakey, the rangy one. Squeezes the ball down the line, makes it tough for Dawson. Blakey tried to go off the ground.
So the difference at the moment, there is probably the kicking efficiency of both sides. St Kilda going at over 70%. The Swans just at 57%. As Marshall might get pinged here.
Has to.
He did. He grabbed it out of the ruck and wasn't sure what he was going to do with it. And Parker wants to get it moving. So he's just going to bang it in long. Reid. Only taking a nice grab. Couldn't on that occasion. Caulfield being busy this quarter. It's pretty much been goal for goal in this contest. Jack Higgins with the 2 for the Saints. Marshall been busy. Got it to Steele, and now McKenzie. He finds Higgins, and again, St Kilda using the ball nice out of their back half. He wanted King to come at him. He wasn't looking for it, so had to launch late. And then Kent just ran out of room.
Rucks, boys. Hold on, Paddy.
Saints led by 5 at quarter time. Entered out to a 10-point margin. Hickey, Marshall, Kennedy, Parker, Jones.
One ball. Stand up, please, gentlemen. Let them stand up, please. Thank you.
Polite as always, Ray Chamberlain, game 350. Please and thank yous from the man in charge. Jones sweated on the ball, only got as far as Florent. He's run down from behind from Butler. Hit his foot, you heard the call, that's how he got rid of it. Kennedy stripped to the footy. Hewitt needs to be strong in the tackle. Getting tough and tight, and the clinches now. Butler with a bit of speed and class. Spirals the ball up towards King, he's outnumbered. They can't run it through, the Sydney defenders though. King snaps it around the corner. It was set up, didn't quite get the contact.
They kept it alive well. You kind of expected Sydney to be able to spoil that one or rush it through, but unable to, and then maybe had a handball option, Max King.
Saints' intensity and effort's been excellent so far. Franklin coming a long way from home to get his touches.
That's where they want him going, Joey.
Kicked the 1 goal in the first term. And ball to Parker. And so consistent this season for the Swans. Had an excellent year again. But the Saints have held him up well here. There's not much to go to the Swans. We know they love to get their offense going. So they're going to try and create something. It's a beautiful kick. Finds Wicks.
Franklin's on his own at the moment. I don't know what's happened. Wilkie's just got to him now. There was a handover and they lost an opportunity there, the Swans.
Reed's got the sit. Well done, Jones. Just got a body to it. Parker now all of a sudden bobs up inside 50. Feeds it back to Florent. Well done, Brad Hill. Got the smother in. Although Joyce wasn't quite sure what to do with it, and now Sinclair relieves for the time being. It goes wide to Higgins.
Rucks, Rowan, Tom. Here, guys, landing here.
Sitting for Sydney. Franklin with the 2 touches. Heaney 4, Hayward 4 plays. I'd love to get into the contest. Start to win a bit more of the ball.
Marshall sockers it forward. McCartan. What a year he's having. Falls to Hewitt. His hand passes a touch errant. Stevens. Fox. Back to Fox. Florent.
So that's why you look up and you see Franklin at half-back just getting involved in the play. Sometimes when you're sitting down there as a forward, it just doesn't come to you. You can have those days. So getting yourself involved in the action by getting up the ground, it's a really smart move.
Insufficient in set. Go through. Yes. 1 foot on the line, please, Sam.
Saints will win the ball back again. Insufficient intent, and that's a beautiful kick from Hill. The centre-half back opens up the whole ground for St Kilda. Sinclair goes wide to Wilkie, who's had that match-up on Franklin. And now sees a one-on-one. Butler, undersized against Blakey, but did it well, used his body. And then follows up with a strong tackle. Lucky to get away with that. It might have been a throw. And Rampy just hacks one towards the wing. Franklin got Saints all over him. You can hear the players there. Good effort by the Saints. And it's been Rowan Marshall who's dominating that matchup with Tom Hickey. Already the 11 disposals for Marshall. 8 of those contested, 5 clearances himself. He's had 10 this quarter, and he's now got Reed. Ain't that 11? He didn't pass enough to get boot the ball.
Well, of the combination when it's Ryder and Marshall, we know Ryder's, he's a magician in the air with the tap work. Marshall's work around the ground, that's his real strength.
Grabs it out of the ruck, screws off the outside of the boot, and we just got a touch. Great audio coming from the camera down there. Nick, you can hear every bump and exclamation.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't make me miss it, Howie.
No. No, you're still moving around, though, in the commentary box with your chest out. You're looking okay.
Marshall off for a spell, which means Joyce goes into the ruck. Not sure how much ruck work he's done. We're about to find out whether he's been learning the craft.
That'll be your answer there, Jason. Free kick to Reed. Half-back. 2 goals for the Saints, 1 for the Swans for the term. Sydney prepared to go back and across, switch to the outer side. Fox. Lloyd. McCartan.
Been able to slow him up well, basically since the start of the match. They've done a great job, St Kilda. Structuring behind the footy, not allowing easy options, blocking the corridor.
That was excellent team defence there by the Saints. Swans have had the wood over St Kilda. They've beaten them 11 of the last 12 times, and for the last 4 times they've beaten them at Marvel Stadium, Sydney, by an average of 72 points. So St Kilda are certainly turning the table for the time being, and they're going to look to attack again as Hill works with Jones. Back to Hill, under pressure though.
Well, that's a waste. You've got Zach Jones, you've got Brad Hill, two of your skillful players, your players you've gone out to recruit, and they just make a complete hash of that.
And again, Sydney just stifled at the moment with their ball movement, although here's an opportunity anytime they can get it in Blakey's hands, but well done again by the Saints, and they're out here on the turnover. King just has to think his way through it, gives the handball to Butler, goes on the outside of the boot, he's got Higgins and he's got Crouch, they both waited for each other, but Higgins says, I'll take care of it, I've already got two, I'll now kick my third.
I thought they were going to mess that up, really. What a great smother. Was it McKenzie, defensive side of the wing? Absolutely brilliant. They were away. Not only did he smother it, he grabs the loose ball, finds the chip over to King, and then it's play on. Butler knew where the player was. He tried to get the little banana out there. He didn't quite hit it the way he wanted to. Nearly a clash, but fortunately Higgins able to control the ball and get the job done.
Great turnover. That's part of the game that Sydney have been so good at, taking the ball from one end of the ground to the other and then being able to hit the scoreboard. So when you're able to turn the tables on them like the Saints did there, you're going to provide pretty good opportunities, because we know the Swans want to go quick in that situation, which means they're going to be caught offside like they were. King, Butler, a few plays forward of the ball free.
Boyce Marshall just running around a little lost at the moment. He went to head down to the Saints back line, then went to the forward line. He's just been sent by the umpires to the wing.
They do that sometimes, right?
First time he's lined up in the wing, I reckon.
Game high 17-point lead to the Saints. They've kicked 3 out of 4 for the term. Sydney needing to hit the scoreboard. Kennedy drives it forward to Franklin. Hayward at ground level. Tried to get it out towards Rowbottom. Franklin again. It's McKenzie and Sinclair combining off half back to find the hands of Steele. Jones, centre wing. Mungs the ball forward. It might work out, though, to the outer side to Butler. He delays a hand pass. Inside 50 ball, misses King, who had a bit of a step on his opponent. Embry just couldn't hit him.
He tried to punch it too low. He tried to make it a perfect kick, and it didn't need to be. Just required a little chip in space, because King had metres on his opponent.
You can hear it through the effects, too. Embry, as soon as he kicked it, he knew.
Yep.
He missed a golden opportunity. The Saints continue to press. It's a 3-goal to 1 quarter by the Saints, after leading by 5 at quarter time. What do the Swans got? You know, they'll continue to hang around, the Swans. They're under pressure here. Florent back to McCartan. Rampy has Blakey, and again St Kilda's forward pressure's been excellent. This time Dean Kent.
You make a great point about Sydney hanging around. This has been a bit of a pattern for them. So you think the GWS game to half-time, they weren't really running on all cylinders, but they got going in that third term. The Essendon game pretty similar. So they will play 4 quarters of footy. We know that.
Florent as well. Got an opportunity here for Sydney. Dawson kicked a terrific goal earlier in the quarter. Goulden, only a beautiful use of it, had absolutely nothing forward of the ball. Was forced to go laterally, and now St Kilda are able to hold them up.
Franklin's just kicked 1 goal, starved opportunities. And a couple of disposals for the big Bud. Might get a chance now as they drive the ball in his direction. He's outnumbered 2-1 and just looking a bit frustrated, the big man. Caulfield chips in.
So it wasn't the kick he was looking for. He wanted the high one over the back. He wanted to push Wilkie under the ball.
Caulfield coming back from injury. Hamstring. And towards King, who started the game with some big grabs early. Winds its way around the boundaries. Sydney have got the numbers. Foxy. Parker. His kick was a bit stymied. Just took a while to get rid of the footy. Now Florent. That's a piercing ball. Has he got the accuracy? Caulfield with another turnover. Now the Saints can get them on the counter. Out to Higgins. He's kicked free. He's got further options ahead. One's Baker. Goes down towards Butler, I should say. Over the top of him. Membry with that unusual jump towards the footy. Crouch. Steele, his kick is smothered, comes back towards Membry, picks it up, hurried back to Higgins, who's already got 3, didn't quite have the legs, and Rampy's the goalkeeper.
They live to fight another day, the Swans. And it's going to get over the back. We know that Wicks has got the leg speed, but so does Kent. Did well. Corralled him, forced him to a high ball. St Kilda just all over the Swans at the moment with their team defence and their pressure. Sinclair pulled the kick at the last minute, saw Sharman, who was busy in that first term.
The last time they went forward, sometimes the easy kick inside 50 is the best option. And it was Higgins. He had Butler in the pocket, just had to chip it over. We tried to force the longer one to memory. Sometimes just take the easy option. Give yourself a shot for goal.
St Kilda with a real dominant period of play here. Parker might have got a free kick, he did. Coming up for disposal, number 17 for him, the most on the ground. Already had 7 clearances. Just continues to get the job done.
Play on.
Fox. Short to Blakey, who always wants to run at every occasion. Cunningham, great kick. Has read, it was a beautiful kick.
I'd want some one-on-one with Wilkie.
Yeah, but they keep moving it slowly and they don't allow him to have that one-on-one that he wants.
And going that direction now, but as you say, Jason, his players come from everywhere to spoil him. Rowbottom. Bends it around the body. Tough one. Buddy, clever tap. Tried to find Dawson at the back. It was a good thought, nearly worked out. Higgins has already kicked 3. Hill and Highmore, who had 10 in the first term.
Highmore wanted to go through the corridor, set it to go back and laterally. Just put Wilkie under pressure momentarily, so he's forced to go wide. St Kilda have got the numbers. Trickle out of bounds. So maybe an opportunity here for the Swans. Put the ball in their front half, bit of a stoppage. They're still winning the clearance battle, 25 to 15. Haven't been able to maximise their entries in this term. Hewitt squeezes it out, might sit up for Papley, it can't. So it's the one goal in this term for the Sydney Swans. Been the highest scoring team in the competition over the last 4 or 6 weeks. Just been stifled in this term by the St Kilda defence. Dawson, high ball. And St Kilda always seem to have the extra number, and it's Burns. Goes wide to Membry, got a couple of metres on Fox. How will it sit? Did well, Robbie Fox closed down that gap.
Tom Morris to join us at half-time. All the wash-up from the tribunal situation. Toby Green, injury to Paddy Dangerfield and more. That's coming up in the half-time break. The Saints by 5 at quarter-time. They've edged it out to a 17-point lead. Kicked the last 2 goals and 3 of the 4 for the term. Higgins has got 3. Pride jumpers for both sides look fantastic. The 6th Pride game started at Yarra Glen Footy and Netty Club, and it's taken off. About diversity in the community, inclusion, acceptance. Great to see it being well supported tonight by both clubs. There's a chance for the Saints. Minute and a bit on the clock. Steele, 17th disposal alongside Parker with the same number. Just forced to kick up and under to a big pack. King bursts it from behind. Kent, he's been lively, wobbles the ball forward. Cunningham will be happy to see the line, and is.
I know it didn't look much, but Max King's effort there to jump from 3 deep, punch the ball, bring it to the ground. Once his teammates get confidence that he's not going to get outmarked or outbodied, it allows them to structure up better and to be more predictable about the way they're going about it.
You can see plenty of work going on off the ball here for St Kilda at this forward 50 stoppage. Hickey hasn't had as much influence as he has this season tonight against his former side. The ball goes out of bounds again. Just been a bit of an arm wrestle the last 5 or 7 minutes of this second term. St Kilda holding a nice 17-point lead. They've got an opportunity again, although Parker is able to get those hands free for another clearance. Connolly wobbles one inside 50. King's got a couple to beat. Well done, Cunningham. Well, the umpire said no mark. McInerney hugs the boundary line and goes across the ground. And now it might be the Swans on the counter-attack. McCartan goes looking for Heaney over his head. And Membry gets behind the ball as he does late in quarters. Just to shore up the defence for St Kilda. The kick goes towards half-forward. Sharman. Still time. McKenzie, can he find a mark? King's in this contest. He's got a one-on-one, but the Swans get back in numbers. Goes through for a rush behind.
Isaac Heaney, just 5 disposals, Jason. That's a result for the Saints in the first half.
Oh, absolutely, as well as Buddy Franklin. He's only had a couple of touches.
Pretty sharp game on a Saturday night. Franklin just with 1. King, the same number. It was the Saints by 5 at quarter time. They've extended the margin to an 18-point lead. Don't go anywhere. Nick Riewoldt, Sarah Jones next. Tom Morris with all the news. The Saints leading the Swans at half-time at Marvel by 3 goals.
Petrarca wants it. What he wants, he gets. Nui, perfect palm down.
Hey, these bowls are from our first share house.
From the Nazi Goring dynasty.
Where are the others?
Still over our next first car.
Ah, miss you, baby.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet. Set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
Hey, these bowls are from our first share house.
From the Nazi Goring dynasty.
Where are the others?
Still over our next first car.
Ah, miss you, baby.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
The hit show is back. With new hosts John Cena and Nicole Byer.
Goodness gracious.
Wiper, Sundays 6:30 on Fox 8 or watch on demand.
Alone is back.
You're not at the top of the food chain here.
On Grizzly Mountain, it's more dangerous than ever. Alone, new season begins Sunday, August 15 on A&E or watch on demand.
This is crazy. I think he's getting the hang of it.
Rent it now on Foxtel Store.
For the Saints finals, hopes are on the line and they're playing like their season depends on it. They lead the Sydney Swans by 18 points at halftime. The pressure game has been exceptional. They've been able to stifle the Swans' ball movement. We've seen a quick and entertaining clash. A couple of great goals as well. Nick Rewalt, what have you made of what we've seen so far? St Kilda needed to bring a finals-like intensity and they've certainly done that.
Yeah, they have, absolutely. The challenge now is can they sustain it? Because we know Sydney, I mean, they get most sides' best shot every week because they've been in such great form. We've seen it with Essendon lately, with the Giants when they've come up against the Swans, and they've been able to maintain it, Sydney, and eventually overwhelm their opponents. That would be the message from Brett Ratten right now is, hey, we're right in this contest if we can keep delivering on the things that we've brought so far in the first half.
The Saints have been crippled at times this year by their inaccuracy in front of goals. That was certainly the case against the Blues. Well, tonight their efficiency has been quite eye-catching. Higgins is one example of that. Last time these two teams met, he kicked 1 goal 6.
Yep.
Tonight, 3 straight.
Yeah, and 3 really good ones. I mean, it's entirely plausible that if they had have kicked straight the last few weeks, they would have gotten over the line. I mean, expected scores had them winning, and yeah, the contrast really coming into this game has been insane. With St Kilda able to come out and basically not miss in that first half. It just highlights the importance of being able to capitalise on all your good work. You kick 8 goals too, and you know the rest of the game was pretty even, inside 50s and those sort of statistics. But straight kicking, it's reward for effort, and that's good footy.
Good kicking is good football indeed. What about the Swans? We know their ball movement is the best in the competition, but the Saints have been able to get them on turnover.
Yeah, 6 goals from turnover from St Kilda, which is great because Sydney are the best ball use team in the competition, which generally means getting it back off them is a really difficult thing to do. So to be able to win it back and then go back at them and hit the scoreboard with those 6 goals won from turnover, that's a part of the game that the Swans pride themselves on, so St Kilda should be wrapped with that.
You spoke before the game about the Saints need to move on from Ryder in a sense when he's not here, and for Marshall to really stand up. He's done that tonight.
Yeah, it's about probably more, like you said, more about standing up rather than moving on, and I thought Marshall's second quarter was amazing. I mean, you know, wowzers, 12 possessions in the second term there, which is the most for a ruckman in a quarter this season. So pretty quiet in the first term, both of them, but Marshall got the ascendancy and was able to win a lot of the footy at ground level as well. You can see there the 6 clearances to really get some field position and the ball moving forward for the Saints.
It's been a super quiet game for the Swans star forwards. Buddy Franklin, I've had a close eye on him at ground level. He looks really frustrated. He's been starved of supply and just wants to get his hands on the footy.
Yeah, and when you're a superstar like he is, it means you attract all the attention of the opposition defenders. You can see every time the Swans have the ball held up, well, then everyone's just gravitating towards Lance Franklin, which should mean that it should open up for some other players. But at this stage, Heaney hasn't taken a mark, Hayward hasn't taken a mark to go with Franklin 0 marks. They need to get more out of some of their live wires up forward.
What's Brett Ratten's message to the Saints now at halftime? They've done exceptionally well in the first half, but it is a half of football.
That's right. A half doesn't get it done, particularly against the best teams in the competition, of which Sydney are one. So, hey, really happy with that. Let's bank it. Let's continue to bring the pressure. I think that's the thing that has brought St Kilda into the contest, their work around the footy and ability to win it back.
We know that the Saints need to win tonight and continue winning if they're to make the finals, because the pressure for that spot in the top 8 is building, particularly with Richmond's win today. And, well, Tigers fans, they'll certainly be smiling tonight. They got the 4 points, and also they saw the debutant of Maurice Rioli. Let's have a look at his goal.
From the side, Zeeble crashed the pack. Turner under immense pressure. Oh, the handball from Walker. He's copped it up. Baker, here we go! Perfect. Rioli puts it through, and the widest smiling footy as they get around Maurice Rioli Jr. Maurice Rioli kicking goals at the MCG in a Tiger jumper. How good is that?
Hey, these bowls are from our first share house.
From the Nazi Goring dynasty.
Wait, where are the others?
Still over next to his car.
Ah, miss you, baby.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
3 seconds left for the Aussies to steal goal.
Don't stuff around with it.
They've set up the partition.
Shoot it.
And in the bin, Australia win.
Top that, Sippers.
They've beaten the Ream team.
Somebody call HR. This party's gonna go off.
You too can make it look easy with Sportsbet's new popular same-game multi. See what the punters are liking and get on board. Popular same-game multi, new from Sportsbet.
He says what he really thinks.
Can I get a reality check in aisle 2, please?
Unafraid to be heard.
Sheila's done it again. Sorry, the borders are shut, gang.
Unrestricted by PC nonsense.
What do you mean? We can't call mothers mothers?
Meet the man behind the mic, Paul Murray.
I'm proud to be a voice for the quiet Australian, and there's no topic that I'll leave in the dark.
Paul Murray Live, 9 p.m, Sunday to Thursday.
They're fighting for a spot in the finals, and that's what they've done here.
It's Powell with the finishing touches, if you don't mind, Will Powell. He lands the exclamation mark.
One of the goals of the year, Cal.
Even with the mask, you see the jubilation on the face of Stuart Jude.
Look, he practices them at training that often, so I'm not surprised he kicked that.
Suns victorious by 19 points in the end. And the smiles on the faces of the Suns players tells the story. Still something to salvage from this season yet.
What a response by the Gold Coast Suns after their 98-point loss last week. They beat the Blues in an upset to notch their 7th win of the season, and the pressure now continues to heap on the Carlton Football Club. Well, we head into the newsroom now where Tom Morris is standing by, and there's some big news surrounding one of the biggest stars in the game. Tom, what can you tell us about Toby Green?
Sarah, as it stands, Toby Green has copped a 2-week ban from the MRO for an incident involving Patrick Dangerfield last night. Now, it was graded as careless, high contact and high impact, which gets him 2 games. Now, the Giants have confirmed that they're going to contest this, meaning he will have a date with the tribunal this week. So big news for the Giants and Toby Green. They'd love him out there. He's their captain without Canelio playing, and he'll be going to the tribunal. That man, Patrick Dangerfield, is okay. He's a chance to play next week, even though he did spend the night in hospital last night. The Geelong Football Club confirmed that he has bruising on his throat, but they do expect him to be a chance to play next week, and he'll be assessed in a few days' time. Now, some other MRO news from today. Joel Selwood, the Geelong captain, he's copped a fine. This was graded as careless, high contact and low impact. Now, it could have been upgraded or elevated to medium impact, but in the end, the MRO, Michael Christian, has decided just to hand him a fine, which is his third fine of the year. So while he's a bit lighter in the pocket, he is available to play against St Kilda in round 2022, the Cats captain.
Thank you very much to Tom Morris there in the newsroom. Well, we have a big game on our hands here at Marvel Stadium. It is the Saints leading by 18 points. The Swans need this man, Tom Papley, to spark into action. He kicked 3 goals in the third term last week and was sensational. Can he drag the Swans over the line tonight?
Hey, these bowls are from our first share house.
From the Nazi Goring dynasty.
Wait, where are the others?
Still over next to his car.
I miss you, baby.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
Hey, these bowls are from our first share house.
From the Nazi Goring dynasty.
Wait, where are the others?
Still over next to his car.
I miss you, baby.
Oh, look at your ties.
Still wasn't the biggest regret I had that day.
Has your betting ever gone too far? Take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
Declaration of war.
Bring the cinema experience home with Foxtel Movies. Showtime. Watch on demand.
We're the Justice Society of America. We can't quit.
Bring it on. New Stargirl begins Wednesday 8:30 on Fox 8 or watch on demand.
Whoa, really?
Half-time, Marvel Stadium. It was the Saints leading by 5 points at quarter time. They kicked 3 goals to 1 in the second term. They currently lead it by 18 points. 8-2-50 good kicking to the Swans, 5-2-32. Higgins has kicked 3. The Swans have won 9 of the last 10, but at this stage they've got a lot of work to do. Jason Dunstall, Nick Rewalt.
It's an important game, isn't it? Important for both teams. The Saints have to keep winning. They've got the worst percentage of all those clubs that are in the mix
for sneaking into the 8, so they have to win every game effectively, and they've put themselves in a really good position. 3 goals ahead of Sydney, but that's only half the job. And I guess the big test for the Saints is whether they can play 4 quarters like this, Rui.
Yeah, see the live ladder there. Interesting too, that Port Adelaide, you can see on the screen below, just getting a little touch up from the Adelaide Crows at the moment. What a weekend of footy it's been, but no, a lot at stake for both teams. I mean, St Kilda, the margin for error has totally disappeared. They just have to win out from here.
What about the game the man in the number 44 jumper for St Kilda has played? He's kept Buddy Franklin to 2 touches, 1 goal which came from a free kick that wasn't given against him. It was actually paid against Brad Hill, so he's been outstanding, but has to stay just as focused, just as committed, because we know what Buddy can do in the space of 10 or 15 minutes.
Well, we saw that a couple of weeks ago. Sam Taylor kept Buddy to about the same sort of stat line in the first half, and then he exploded after half-time. Had a massive third quarter, finished with 4 for the game.
It's been good too.
He has. I mean, the kicking accurately. So the first 2 he kicked, they were right out of the top shelf.
So 1-6 earlier in the year against Sydney. Now he's got 3 straight. So he's turned it around. Yep.
A weekend full of upsets already. Is there another one brewing on the cards here? Saturday night, Marvel Stadium. St Kilda came in the underdogs, and they currently lead by 18 points. The Swans, they haven't won 5 in a row for nothing. They're going to come out breathing fire. Parker, who was a shining light in that first half of the Swans, gets that first clearance, gets towards half forward. Here's the man they need to live from, Heaney. Here's the other man they need to live from, Buddy. Will it sit for him? We've seen him do this a lot of times before. Top of the square, Reid couldn't take the mark and then tried to flick it out to Hewitt, but the Saints, plenty of pressure and numbers back in defence, and it's Webster who's happy to clear the ball towards Butler with McInerney and Steele and Sinclair, and they do it nicely, the Saints. Ross feeds it back to Sinclair. Can he find an uncontested mark? He does. He goes to the man, Rowan Marshall, who had 11 disposals in that second term. Had the hot hand. 6 clearances already. And he's going to send it to half forward for St Kilda. King did the spoiling that time, which was smart play. He was out-positioned. Hewitt. And now McInerney. And he does it nicely, finds Hickey.
Promising signs for the Swans. Hickey driving, kick forward. He's got Goulden, who kicked the opening goal of the match. Skillful young player, gets back off his mark quickly now. Eyes darting, wants something. Now he goes back to set up his routine.
Kick from McInerney was great. Just a little touch kick, took all the pace off it, identified Hickey. From there, you're able to make really good decisions. Opens the whole ground up.
To get it back to a 2-goal margin, Errol. Shots in now. Makes good contact. It comes. Not quite enough. Call the score review.
It's behind. I'd like to check with his touch before it crosses the goal line. Score review. Umpire's call is touch behind. Can we please make sure that's the case?
Well, it hasn't been touched. It means Caulfield's had an airy. Brushes the fingers there, doesn't it?
I reckon so.
Hard to overturn based on that.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball is touched by the St Kilda defender before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on scoreboard.
Important finger there for Nick Caulfield. Had a pretty good first half. Really, the 9 disposals, 3 marks off the opposition. He's been dropped 3 times this year. Caulfield, game number 50 tonight.
Yeah, top 5 in the best and fairest last year too. Just struggled to back it up this year and find that level of consistency again.
King did well, just provided a contest once again. Brought it down to ground level for the Smalls. And they get on the run. Jones to steal. Has Membry deep if he can get it there. Almost shanked the kick completely. It's going to be turned over at half-back for the Swans, although St Kilda's forward pressure's been elite all game. And they're going to wrap it up. Lockett inside their forward 50. They're getting pretty comprehensively beaten at the stoppages at the moment. If it wasn't for Marshall, they'd be getting beaten even more. And again, he shoveled it out to McKenzie. Burns has Butler, who's been able to find a bit of space in this game. Ball didn't sit for him. He might get another crack at it. He's happy to go backwards. Clever kick. McKenzie just mucking around with it a bit here, the Saints. So Dunstan under pressure. Kicks it to the top of the square. Membry off 2 feet. Couldn't take the mark. Cunningham shovels it out to Hickey. He's forced to go towards a one-on-one. Caulfield, the man we just spoke about, beaten on that occasion by Heaney. Trying to get himself involved in this second half. Goes looking for Buddy. It was a tough kick for the big man, but he did it well. Did it beautifully. Got it back to Heaney, who drives a beautiful ball towards Papley on the lead. What a kick.
Yeah, that was a ripper.
St Kilda have been able to get numbers back, so he goes towards Reid. McKenzie did it nicely. Kennedy, good front and square. Got the arms free. Gordon had an opportunity denied moments ago. Gets his second, and the Swans get the perfect start to the third term.
Just a really well-crafted goal, that. Franklin did well. The kick from Heaney to Papley was absolutely beautiful. It's a great crumb from Kennedy. What about the strength there? Just to be able to ride the tackle. Dunstan was the man applying the pressure. I mean, he is as strong as they come in this sort of contest. You can see there all the weight just trying to bring him down. He couldn't. Kennedy was strong. And Goulden, he's the best in the comp at delivering it inside 50, and he's pretty handy in front of goals too.
Opening goal of the half. Joey, you and I spent the halftime break jumping on YouTube. Do yourself a favour, Google Jason Dunstall's 1000th goal.
He was happy to tell us about it, wasn't he?
Brisbane, he gave us a full rundown, minute by minute, hit on the chest by Crawford, went back, opening goal of the game.
Going to go there again, Joey.
Was bleeding out of his head.
Yeah, it was tough. So have a look on YouTube. Fine head of hair on the chap that kicked the 1000th as well. Hickey, back to the footy.
I had the poster too, boys.
Didn't we all? Now McKenzie, nice little step, steal. Can the Saints answer immediately? Hill, Dunstan, wants the left. Goes back by hand now. Marshall really delayed it to Dunstan. He eventually gets that left foot and kicks it straight to Lloyd.
See, they're making a hash of it. They've had some opportunities and they just haven't been able to think their way through it in terms of ball use heading forward, the Saints.
Well, they need to continue to be efficient inside 50 if they want to knock off the Swans. And they'll get another crack at it. Membry felt the pressure, so he tried to go back to Webster, but the ball didn't sit for him. And Goulden, probably the best first-year player in the competition, did it nicely, and again they get it to Wicks. Runners streaming past, wasn't able to get it to them the first time. Saw McCartan in a little bit of space. Has Goulden there for support. Was able to get under the Membry tackle and then ping for a throw. Tim Membry didn't have a big first half, was able to kick one goal. There's able to kick it towards King. He was able to shove off Grampy, he was able to get to the ball, and again just did enough to bring it to the feet for the Smalls. They've been dangerous, the Saints small forwards. I've liked the games of Butler, Kent and Higgins.
That's a kick he's just got a centre. He's got Marshall pushing forward and he's tried to thread the needle with a little pass on the left foot down the boundary line.
Saints by 18 at half-time. Swans have whittled it back to an 11-point margin. Swans in attack. Parker with a spiral out of defence. Highmore started the game absolutely on fire. Caulfield, he's had a good game as well. Squaring ball, he's got McKenzie. 65 from home. High ball sets out in front of Higgins, who's already kicked 3. Runs back confidently on his range.
Great example. It looks like he wants to shell this one off.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking from 50, a good 50.
For a career high 4 goals is Higgins. Unloads with a long ball.
quite the accuracy.
So St Kilda started the quarter well. They're peppering away. Haven't been able to put a major on the board just yet. We know the Swans have been able to do this a number of times this year. Their third quarter's their best. And again, they'll look to get the ball moving. And they've got a bit of space. And again, it's a beautiful kick for Packley. Gee, he's getting some silver service to start this term. He has Heaney calling for it deep. Goes in that direction. We know he can fly. Couldn't bring it down. Keeps his feet, though. Tried to screw it around the body. St Kilda did it well.
What they have been able to do early in this third term, Sydney's moved the ball quickly. They weren't allowed to do that in the first half. The Saints set up behind the ball. They cut off options. But Sydney are making the most of every opportunity. They're just playing on and going.
Jason Dunstall, Nick Rewalt, Lee Montagna, Sarah Jones. Saturday night footy. Hickey was making a beeline towards goal. Bumbled out of his hands. Webster clearing ball. Parker picks it up cleanly, perfectly. Now the Swans wobble the ball forward. Franklin's in the area. Comes again, Buddy. Wilkie, what a night he's having. Webster with a little underground style ball. Florent paddles it in front of himself. Saints keep the ball in. They wobble it down the line. The intent was insufficient.
Yeah, that was a kick for touch, that one, if ever you've seen it. So Sydney just a period of dominance here.
Yeah, they're strong in third quarters. They've won 13 and lost 4. Third quarters for the year. So they generally come out strong in the second halves. And Rampy's just going to drive it straight down the middle. Haywood, or Dawson is it in fact, in the middle of a pack, stood his ground, and on the second bite brought it down. And he'll line up for his second goal.
Ooh, a little bit of a limp on Dane Rampy.
Yeah. Starts with the kick, after the kick maybe.
It was Brad Hill who was on him, didn't go with Dawson, didn't keep him out of the contest. And it doesn't come off the boot overly well, but it had the little bit of right to left. And Dawson sneaks it home for his second.
Well, we saw him hit the post early in the game too. Now he's been able to help himself to a couple of goals. We know how good a kick he is. But these are instinctive kicks around the ground. He's also showing us he can do it in front of goals.
It's the ability to execute the kick, Jace, but the confidence to be able to go for some of these. I mean, some of these are off the line across the body. For a young player, you've got to be pretty confident in your ability to actually want to pull the trigger on those. It's a good mark in the forward 50. Again, disappointing effort defensively from Brad Hill. You can't just let your man run and launch like that. You've got to go with him. Might not be your strong suit, but you've got to play your role at times.
The 3-goal margin the Saints enjoyed at half-time has been pared back to 1 goal. Sydney with the only 2 of the term through Goulden with his second and Dawson with his second. The Swans are on the charge, looking for another clearance. Steele trying to do something about it. Jones as well. Nice shimmy and dummy. Now puts the afterburners on. Jones takes a bounce. Drops it forwards. Kent, whistle on play. Downfield. It's going the way of Kent.
Against Dawson. So he's just kicked one. Now he's given a downfield free kick, which should result in a goal to Dean Kent. And he's going to go round the corner from here.
You love this.
As long as if he kicks it, that's fine.
Yeah. Kicked one and missed one that he didn't want to really have a go at. No problem at all for Kent. Immediate response and a big one for St Kilda.
I'm very happy for him, because if he didn't kick it, it was about to get strafed like you've never heard.
They do it a lot now, don't they? So you just see it's a tiny little coat hanger. It's probably been over-accentuated by Zach Jones, but if the touch is there, do it. This is becoming more and more the norm, isn't it? Around the corner from almost directly in front. They feel more confident. Whatever gets it done.
Zach Jones there, of course, played 90 games for the Swans. Played in that 2016 grand final loss He was able to draw a free kick and allowed Dean Kent to get his second, and St Kilda back out to that 12-point margin. Much needed goal after Sydney had been dominating this third term. And they're going to win it out of the centre again, and it's Papley towards Franklin in a one-on-one. This time he's going to get a free kick. Not much Wilkie could do on that occasion.
Well, that's the kick he's been crying out for all game. He wants a one-on-one, get the ball in high, and let me use my strength. He's been signalling to his teammates. They've been reluctant to do it. They've moved the ball too slowly. They've hung on to it. That's all he wanted, was that one-on-one opportunity. Finally, he gets it. And this is that difference in size and strength that you highlighted early, Joey. It's going to be nearly impossible for Wilkie to manage body on body in a situation like that.
And almost 20 kilos he's giving away, Callum Wilkie. He's done an excellent job so far. We know Buddy doesn't need much of a sniff for his second. Oh, he smashes into the woodwork again for the Swans. And a let off.
Let off for St Kilda.
That's got to be a kick to King.
There's a push in the back, right in front of the umpire.
Just getting manhandled by Rampy, who's still limping a little bit.
King laterally. Wilkie, Caulfield. Hill. Switches on to Ross. Balls of Seb. They come from Sinclair, who's got a further chain in the hand pass. Burns. Drops the footy forward. Swans have got the numbers in the air. They don't leave anyone on the back. McKenzie goes a tap to King. Tight angle for King.
Oh, he's kicked it.
He has kicked it. King has got two, and the Saints get two on the bounce.
I thought Burns had pulled the wrong rein by not giving it to Steele with the long kick to the top of the square, but they got the contest. You can see here Steele makes really good position. He probably could have run in and actually had a snap himself, but the kick to the dangerous area. This is clever from McKenzie here. Realise he's a left footer, not on the right side, and pretty tidy finish for the big fella.
It's also good work rate, because he was the one that won the free kick halfway between halfback and the wing. He then followed it down. Rampy not moving as well as he normally does. Couldn't pick him up.
203 centimetres, and you just snap it around your body like that, Nick Riewoldt. That gets St Kilda fans reasonably excited, and the coach.
Yeah, it sure does. 10 goals, 3. That'll have them all excited at the moment. What a difference it makes.
A really nice response by St Kilda after they were challenged. They've kicked the last two. Heaney starting to get busy, and they win another centre clearance to Swans. Franklin wanted the free kick. He played for it that time. Ray Chamberlain in game 350 didn't fall for that. He allowed the mark, and now St Kilda have been able to get it in the hands of Hill. He's worked himself up to dispose of number 17.
It's a lazy hand pass, and it's a slow hand pass. Seb Ross could have given that straight away. He waits until they're under pressure. Then he delivers a poor hand pass. Then they kick it out on the full. That's just sloppy.
He's frustrated with Ray Chamberlain. He didn't feel he moved off his mark. Ray called him to play on. It's a turnover. Parker's going to send it back in. Franklin stands his ground. McKenzie. Joyce. Heard the call of Highmore. And again in the hands of Hill. He's used it pretty well tonight. That's a nice kick. And they just relieve the pressure momentarily of the Saints.
Saints exit. Making 2 goals of the term. The Swans, and the Saints respond with a couple of their own. They've turned it over in a dangerous position here, though. Florent can kick a goal. Sends it all the way forward. And Highmore, 10 disposals in the first term, continues his good outing. It's McKenzie. Left footer. Inboard to Leo Connolly. And Joyce. And number 9.
Well, Luke Parker's got himself up to 24 disposals and 10 clearances already in this game. Jake Lloyd's added 17. Going at 100% efficiency by foot. Jack Steele doing what he's done all season. As we said, Brad Hill getting plenty of ball. As we see Max King, it's like getting an adductor potentially worked on. And keep an eye on that one as Heaney getting busy this quarter. Goes inside 50. St Kilda's got the extra number. Caulfield got an important hand to the ball. Got it towards Wilkie and now Hill. Can he find another mark coming out of defence? He did it well. Kent. Oh, stiff not to get the free kick. He had the arms chopped. There's a bit of a story. Max King going down into the rooms. Doc Barber following him down there.
Keep an eye on that situation with King. Dunstan. Butler. Carton. He's in best position. Now Blakey arrives on the scene. Heaney, as Joey said a couple of times, really lifted this term. Rampy. Risks trying to get a little bit of space. They create it now by hand to McCartan. Steele.
I mean, Heaney's able to find the footy this quarter. I mean, it highlights the difference between playing half forward and playing in the midfield.
Kent kicked a couple of goals. Bustling type of customer. A bit undecided. She just takes a bit of heat out of it. Goes back to Hill.
You did notice that was a slight dig at Rui, the midfielders.
I think it was.
I did. I just let him go with it. Not my area to question him. Cunningham. It's up to you two.
Well, it just sounded like he said it's harder to play forward than it is in the midfield.
That's what I heard.
Certainly
It's harder to find the ball forward than it is in the midfield.
Thank you.
Reid uses his body. Parker. Reid. Hewitt. Goulden steps away. Comes back and across. It's a confident ball. Hangs up a long time. And arriving on the scene's the big boy from Traralgon, Tim Membry. And this can really hurt the Swans.
As soon as he saw the change of direction, he sprinted. He was down the goal square. He took off, running with the flight of the ball. Great courage, focus,
Hold that line.
commitment, and now he gets the opportunity to kick the goal. Look at the pace. Never at any stage did he take his eyes off the football.
Very popular player.
And that deserves a goal, that act.
Palm tree tattoo on one arm. Typically a good finisher, Membry. Big kick for the evening. Perfect kick for the evening. Membry gets his second.
Yeah, hard to be too critical of Goulden there. I mean, he's been such a good user of the footy, so you definitely don't want him to lose this part of his game because, really, I mean, in the end, ultimately...
It looked a good option, Rui.
It's just great defensive play from Tim Membry to be able to get across and close the space down. So you'd suspect the message would come out from John Longmire or the Sydney bench. Hey, keep going for your kicks.
Yep.
See, Errol Goulden.
Tim Membry there on screen with his second goal of the night. His wife Emily and little daughter Ren, 4-week-old, to be at home watching. New father for the first time for Tim Membry. He's having a nice night. He's seen the Saints kick 3 unanswered goals after the Swans got within 6 points.
4-week-old might be in the cop by now, Joe. That's 9.
Probably asleep, yeah. Hopefully. And Sydney win another clearance. Goes inside 50. Webster to Crouch. Back to Webster. Under pressure here from the Swans. Got to be careful. And Connolly with a nice bit of zip backs himself in. And goes towards that man, Membry, who's got the run and jump. Couldn't bring it down. McKenzie's been important. Got the hands to Dunstan. Back to Higgins, who's kicked the 3 goals. Just rushed a little bit of that one. Just panicked and turned the ball over. And now the Swans will reload from half back.
But he's just slipped back onto the ground, guys.
Sorry, Sarah?
But he's just slipped back onto the ground. He was screaming on the boundary line then to be let back on.
Thank you, Sarah Jones. Down on the boundary, coming back with a fly. It was a clever, important touch from Blakey not to give away the free kick. Now Hill getting out of that double tackle.
Yeah, followed up that, Howie, with just great pressure and ability to get over and affect the tackle. For such a big man, he's really agile, Blakey.
Any sign of Max King, Sarah?
No, he's still down in the rooms. The doctor has emerged, but Max has not.
It's not a good sign, we would think. The doctor's come back out. We'll keep an eye on that. The Swans look to get going again in this third quarter. What a pick up from Parker. Although the chase from Jones was even better. And again, they turn the footy over St Kilda. And it's with their skipper, Steele, who has a lead from Sharman, goes to him, and that's the way you do it off the turnover. Nice play by the Saints. Cooper Sharman, who kicked one in the first term, and try and go back and extend this 23-point lead.
Good to see Sharman come at the foot.
Yes, isn't it? Isn't it? I was about to say, he's moved well. We've seen him tonight. For a big man, he's a good athlete. But again, we've seen that in recent times. Every now and then you'll see a beautiful lead up the footy. It's an easy kick to make, and you get a set shot for goal. It should be utilised more often.
So Cooper Sharman, the mid-season recruit, he's had a couple of shots at goal. He kicked one and one out on the full, and now he's got the full set. He's got a behind to go with it.
24-point margin, game high now for the Saints. If they gave up the first two of the term, Sydney were back within a kick. St Kilda with the answers throughout the evening. 5-point leaders at quarter time, 18 at the half. Now out to a 4-goal margin. Season on the line for the Saints. Sydney still pushing for a top 4. Enormous ramifications on this one. Jones tries to tackle McCartan. Steele, they got their tails up now through Ross. The Saints bang the ball forward. Blakey. Angular customer hits Hickey. Brilliant, those shots before the game of some of the Swans, including Big Tom Hickey seeing their little ones for the first time for 6 or 7 weeks. Straight to Higgins. Jim McCartan made something out of nothing there. Would have been a certain goal.
So pretty keen to bring that switch on, similar to the Goulden kick earlier.
Dawson with the fly, nice mark. Been busy again. We saw probably been the best Swan since the bye. I think another big game, 15 disposals and 2 goals for him. Franklin still can't shake Wilkie. And the Saints turn it over again. And they've got players out everywhere here. If Burns can think his way through it, he can. And again, it's Sharman presenting at the footy. He has Higgins running to goal. Will it get over the top? It will. Good play from the Saints. They've been dangerous off turnover all night. And Higgins is going to go back to kick an equal career-high 4 goals.
Second time in the space of a couple of minutes. Sharman just presenting up the corridor, providing a really good target, particularly when he's going around the corner.
He's going around the corner from straight in front. He's got it. He's got his 4th. And St Kilda are skipping out to a nice lead.
So what Sharman is doing right now is providing a wonderful target in the absence of Max King, which has become really important. Because you lose him, all of a sudden you can be rudderless sometimes when you go off the ground. But Sharman has presented, had an opportunity to kick a goal himself, missed it, then gets on the lead, gets back quickly, finds Higgins in the goal square, sets up a certain goal. So he's been really impressive in the bits and pieces we've seen from him. 8 possessions, kicked a goal, now handed one on a platter to that man there.
Gee, the Wilkie match-up, Franklin at half-forward there, was really important too. Franklin just wanted the ball. He was demanding it long and high. The kick came in flat, and Wilkie was never really challenged by any sort of lateral movement.
You don't have to spoil it with your fist. Just kick it off the ground or whatever it did to get it going. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Toe pokes can come in handy.
4 on the trot for the Saints now. Dawson, the Swans, right under the hammer. Drops it inside 50, but Sinclair is trying to steady things down. The shadows of the final break. Risky ball into the middle. Cunningham. Hands of the experienced Kennedy. Game 278 for Josh. 5th year as captain.
Outside.
Waxing at the moment. He wants something forward of the footy. He's going to have to kick to a contest. Franklin from behind sets himself, as do the Saints. Sinclair again repels another attack, only as far as Blakey. What can he conjure? In the pink boots, hesitates. Thought he was going to go, now does. Squeezes the ball inside, straight through the hands of Parker. Overran it for a moment there, Parker. Got to him quicker than he was expecting. Dunstan takes on 3 tackles, and he's gone.
I don't know what the thought process was then. He had half a dozen opportunities to get rid of the footy. Didn't see anything he liked, so he hung on to it. Did he get one high? Umpire said no. Maybe he sunk at the knees a little bit. But it looked like he had chances to dish the ball out, throw it on the boot. Just wasn't sure what to do.
Hayward's kicked one behind this evening. They need this going into the break, the Swans. That's a 30-point margin in the blink of an eye after 4 unanswered. Hayward trots on, trots in. And they needed that. By gee, they did, the Swans. They get it back to a 4-goal margin in the shadows of three-quarter time.
Yeah, really important, Howie, just to maintain touch. Dunstan almost feels like the pressure's arriving before it even gets there. So it was like he braced for the tackle to come while he was still clear and could have disposed of the footy.
Line ball, whether it was arm over the shoulder, it was a half and half, but I reckon when you've had that long to get rid of it, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I think because he did look like he sunk at the knees a little bit, I think that was the right decision to award the free kick to Sydney.
Max King has emerged from the rooms, just sitting on the bench right now, so we'll keep you updated as to whether he'll be back out there.
He does look like he's going to come back out on the ground, so that's encouraging signs for the Saints.
Get worked on again at three-quarter time and see if he can come out and finish the job for the Saints, because they've been terrific for the first 3 quarters, although the Swans might have one more score left in them. Time's ticking down. Sinclair did it well. And a nice finish to the quarter for the Saints. They've led it every break. It was 5 points at quarter time, 18 at half time, and they've extended it to 24 points at three-quarter time. Will the weekend of upsets continue? We're all set for a big final quarter here at Marvel Stadium.
Strap yourselves in. Clutch Kennedy has one last shot in the parallel parking. And he's wheeled out the Gold Coast combo. The jet ski on a trailer. It all hinges on this. Looking good. Oh, just back yourself in, mate. He slotted it. Pedal to the metal.
You too can make it look easy with Sportsbet's AFL Same Game Multi. With more markets, more offers and bigger odds. If it's a Same Game Multi, it's Sportsbet.
Here he is, the statue of Davo.
Rig was in pretty good nick back then, mate.
Well, I sat on the bench for first grade that year.
Oi, guys, it's the lost keys of the Airbnb.
Hold up. Did you guys pay me back for that?
From when we won the quaddy on Caulfield Cup Day.
Yep, I remember I gave it all back and then some.
Have you ever got carried away on the punt? Take a sec before you bet. Set a deposit limit, whoever you bet with.
St Kilda by 5 at quarter time, 18 at half time. They got out to a 30-point margin. The Swans kicked the last of the term, at the Saints, clinging towards hopes of a final, trail by 24 points. The Swans, they've got it all to do. Max King spent the last 10 or so minutes off the ground down in the rooms. Sarah Jones, can you tell us what's going on with Big Max?
Yes, Howie, the first thing he did when he emerged from those rooms at three-quarter time was go and get Jared Roughhead, grab a footy and put himself through a quick little fitness test. He had some treatment on his right adductor on the boundary line before heading down into the rooms, as you said, for about 10 minutes. So a crucial player for the Saints. He's kicked 2 goals already in the game, and, well, he's given us the thumbs up, so hopefully he'll be back out there.
Oh, I've got to tell you, that fitness test doesn't look like a thumbs up. The way he was moving, he was certainly favouring the right leg. But what about the pressure that the Saints have been able to apply on Sydney for the first 3 quarters of this match? Super impressive. They're killing them in the tackles. They have been in their face all the time. They've taken time away from them, and they've had a pressure rating of over 200.
Yeah, and what that has done is that it's blunt the Sydney tool of being able to move the footy from one end to the other. They're best in the competition of being able to do that. But when you bring pressure like that, well, all of a sudden you make it really hard on the opposition. They've been able to turn it over, go back and get good looks going the other way. And, gee, this man's capitalised on it, coming back in at pace. A couple of beautiful crumbs in that first term, and he's gone on with it, Jace.
He's got 4 to his name. He's been the difference at ground level. They've needed someone like this, and he's made the most of them. He sprayed them everywhere last time they met. Kicked 1 goal 6. This time he's got 4 goals 1. What a difference it makes when you can kick straight. Keep an eye on the first bounce here, because this is where Sydney have had dominance in this game. Centre bounce clearances favouring the Swans 17-5. That's a smashing in anybody's language, and clearances overall 36-22. So they've got to try and negate the Swans' dominance around the stoppages.
It's all set up for a big final term. Sydney with so much to play for, potentially 4th spot is there tonight if they want it, with the game that's going on in the showdown. And St Kilda, they can keep their slim finals chances alive with a win. An upset win against the red-hot Swans. Max King is back out on the ground. Rampy, he's not going to take it easy on him.
No, and I love Tim Membry. Whenever he sees it, he comes over and gets involved as well.
They're all set. That's a nice bounce from Razor Rain, game 350. And who can win the all-important first centre clearance? Dunstan did well. Went down low, got his hands to it and gets it towards half-forward. McInerney and Lloyd work together. And Blakey charging past, ignored him. And then under pressure turns it over. Well done, Saints.
Good chase from Butler.
Dunstan coming up for disposal, number 18. And it's a bit of an ordinary kick, although it might work out almost to Burns. Higgins sweeps it back to Hill. And feeds it wider to Highmore. He has to sit and wait for the football. And now Steele will send it inside 50. Who wants the footy? It's Lloyd, the only one that wanted it, and takes the nice mark.
So the Swans through Cunningham. Does a full 360. McInerney. Lloyd. Chipping ball to Heaney, who had a good 3rd term. Was in the middle a lot after starting on the half-forward line. Looks towards Packley. Gave Jones a shove and fell over himself in the process. Wilkie, what a night he's had. Kept Buddy to 1. Jones. Back to Wilkie. Joyce. Straight through. Highmore it was. Florent might make them pay with a screwing centering ball towards Reid. He's got to beat 2. Highmore with the fist. Coming back the way of Ross. Dunstan. Jones gets past Blakey, takes one on the chin, keeps going. Tough man. Now to Hill. This is the build-up the Saints want. He wants someone coming towards him, towards Butler. Handy around goal. Butler with a clever little kick round the corner. Just ran out of players there, the Saints. Higgins comes back out the other way, goes off the ground. St Kilda pushing at every opportunity, trying to land the knockout blow. Heaney kicks smothered, boundary line.
They found a way not to kick a goal there, St Kilda, and I thought that was extremely difficult. I thought it was easy to actually kick the goal there than to not kick one. With the number of players they had, they just couldn't handle the ball cleanly. That could have been the nail in the coffin.
Membry going up against Hickey in the ruck. Hickey wins that one. There's his opponent. Marshall, who sat behind the football, will win it back for St Kilda. And they'll look to go inside 50 again as Webster goes short and loaded. Steele. Coming up for disposal, number 26, and it's a good one too to Membry on a lead. Membry will go back and try and kick his third.
Pressure just hasn't quite looked the same tonight for the Swans. St Kilda have got in positions more often going inside 50 where they've been able to really assess the situation and make good decisions and execute.
And the number one team for pressure all year, the Swans. Just the 34 tackles in this one. And Tim Membry to really make it difficult for the Swans. Right on 50s, he got the journey, it gets close. Oh, King nearly created something.
Lloyd plays on, as he so often does. 112 kick-ins prior to tonight, 111 he played on. Wow, that was fancy from Reid. Took the mark and handballed it in the air down towards Goulden. He's man-handled, does well to bring it to ground, Goulden. Now the big boys come. Franklin arrives on the scene. He's bustled over by Joyce, Webster. Saints have got all the answers at the moment. Jimmy takes a second bounce. Looks for a little ball forward, hits Jones on half-back.
Clever kick because he had nothing out that side. Jimmy Webster, he bought some time, he had a bounce, he slowed it down, and then he found a way to keep possession.
McKenzie on the wing.
There's free plays everywhere for St Kilda. Swans team defence is just a bit all at sea at the moment. There is McKenzie, as Rui said, he was on the wing moments ago, drifted forward. Has Marshall one way, Membry coming at him through the corridor, just over his head. He went for the more difficult of the options.
Well, why would you ignore Marshall there?
Although Hickey's given it straight back, and this time he can't miss King, who was waiting on the top of the square. And they've made the easy look difficult once again, Jason.
Just keep complicating things, shall we? Rowan Marshall is in sort of the pocket flank, not really on the boundary, but in acres of space. They could have kicked to him, decided to go into the corridor, to a contest. Now they kick to an injured Max King, who fell over marking the ball. He isn't moving particularly well, needs to kick this.
2 goals, 1 for Max King. Started well in the first term. Been pretty quiet through the middle 2 quarters. This is an important moment.
So there it is.
Pushes it across.
3 opportunities early in the last term to really put the nail in the coffin. Miss them all up.
You had to feel sorry for Rampy on that one. He knew King couldn't run, so he's taken off. I thought, I'll test you the other way. King couldn't go. The turnover, as soon as it came back, Rampy was out of position.
There's Lloyd playing on again. He decides to bang it straight down the middle. St Kilda again, though, winning possession. Parker throws himself on the footy with the spoil. Now Hickey measures it down towards Goulden. Sinclair, good battle, a couple of young guns. Sinclair, Goulden comes a second time. Now Dawson, he's got a beautiful left foot, gives it to Papley. He'll want to get onto the right, gets round one, looks inboard. That was for Hewitt, an unusual option down there, and Highmore takes it straight across the line, and that's okay.
So can the Swans make St Kilda pay for squandering some opportunities to start this final term? It's a 26-point margin. They're going to have to put some scoreboard pressure on soon. Sydney, Heaney tries to burst through the tackle.
Max King didn't last long out on the ground. He's back on the bench. Really wasn't moving well. Would have been probably a goal from nothing if he had been able to kick that one, but not sure how much impact he can have, if any, in this last quarter.
Vitell, the medical sub for the Saints.
Jones and Heaney, former teammates, just going at it a little bit. Plenty on the line, as we've said. Papley, can he create something wrapped up by 2 Saints? Oh. And then Ray's paid a push in the back.
You landed flat on his number. It's a free kick.
You heard the explanation from Ray Chamberlain, saying that Jimmy Webster landed flat on his number. And it's opened the door now for Tom Papley. It's been lively at times in this game, the 14 disposals. We take a look at the replay.
Here we are, boys.
Here. wasn't Webster, in fact, it was McKenzie. And Papley normally eats these for breakfast. He's trying to fire up his Swans, and they get back within 20 points.
Well, we know Ray Chamberlain loves to insert himself in the contest. I'm not sure I've ever quite... Don't worry about the free kick. I'm not sure I've ever seen an umpire give a player a death stare like this when Isaac Heaney's given a little bit of a cheeky one here to Jimmy Webster, to Zach Jones. Have a look at the death stare. Unbelievable scenes.
You know what that is, Rui? That's all of us in homeschooling at the moment. That is all of us.
When the kids play up?
Yeah.
It's a great call, Howie. That's how I look at the boys when they're not listening.
So the Swans drag it back to 20 points on the back of Tom Papley. King looks done with ice on the right side of the groin. So I imagine Vitell, if he's not already on the ground, will be on the way. An injection of fresh legs. Clark is the medical sub. The Swans not called upon. So St Kilda holding a comfortable lead, but still a lot of time left in this game. At Dunstan, got a shove. Ross takes the advantage. Buddy Franklin chases after him. Laid the tackle a touch too late. Now they've got some speed in the game with Hill. Tried to hit Higgins, who's already kicked 4. Well, Butler overran the ball, was looking up towards the goal. Didn't have the Sharon in his hand. Escaped him. Higgins comes again. I'd love a 5th, a career high to Butler. Runs around, snapping ball. Underneath it, coming in his memory. Bounced off the big man's chest. Swans will be happy to rush it through.
Clear out, please.
Ooh, hotting up.
Yeah, Higgins has his time again. That's where you need to take the footy out in front. It is a real skill to hit the ball flat out, extended hands, but you take the defender out of it.
So the medical sub has been activated for St Kilda. Jack Vitell will insert himself in the game shortly. Give the Saints a bit of extra run through the midfield. Dawson, I've spoken about how beautiful a field kick he is. Just overcooked Parker on that occasion. Look at 2 of the Bulls, Steele and Parker going at it. Steele one out. Got the handball out to a teammate, although Sydney will win it back. But again, Saints pressure. It's been enormous all game. Dunstan with a little fumble. Florent up against 3 St Kilda players, so he'll be happy to see it locked up. He's going to get pinged.
Thought he did well, Florent, to clear the body and then win the footy, but
didn't dive on it, but he half picked it up while he was on the ground, didn't he?
He knew he couldn't release it because he was surrounded by Saints.
Hard done by, I thought.
It's going to be Crouch. He hasn't had his most prolific night for St Kilda, just the 15 disposals. He's going to drive this one in deep. A lot of numbers inside 50. The Saints small forwards have been good in this situation tonight.
Pushing the back, Sydney.
Another free kick to the Swans. Going to go the way of Cunningham.
The Swans need 4 goals. Yeah, tick under 12 minutes.
Move it on.
Only been 1 goal for the term. It's off the boot of Papley, his 2nd. To a contest on the wing. Hickey caught behind. Marshall taking a bit of time. Membry's deep. Marshall's called to go in that direction now. Membry will come from behind the pack. Big fist.
Yeah, you might think it was a conservative kick from Cunningham to come down the line to a contest, but I think the temptation at times here with this margin could be we've got to get it all back at once. Still plenty of time though for Sydney.
Nick Riewoldt, Jason Dunstall, Lee Montagna, Sarah Jones. Saturday night footy from Marvel Stadium. Sharman. Steele gets a little bit of space, releasing handball to Dunstan. Snaps it around the body, won't have the distance. Butler's there, dangerous position. Picks it up, surrounded by Swans. They drag him to the ground.
Straight up. Release, please. Thank you.
So they've got to hang in here, Sydney. You can see the inside 50s for the quarter. St Kilda pressing. They're looking to finish this one. Hickey under pressure. Burns tries to get boot the ball. Oh, Lloyd. How's the umpire see that one? You're allowed to do that. Uses experience, gets it through. It's now a 22-point margin.
Wait for the call, Dan. Play on.
And he's going to look to get it moving. He's probably going to want to go long or wide, and he finds the mark. It's a beautiful kick of Dawson. He's urging his teammates to get some movement. They're trying to generate something. Just hasn't been their night. And he's going to pull off a bit of a dangerous kick into the corridor. They might get lucky here because Heaney's working hard, but again, St Kilda's pressure not allowing him to go anywhere, and they might get another free kick. No.
Don't look at me like that.
More homeschooling from Ray to Isaac. 29 disposals for Jack Steele, 27 for Luke Parker. Saints looking to land the knockout blow. They just try and belt it out of there. Crouch has other ideas. Dunstan got one high. Now there's an opportunity for the Saints.
That opportunities they just haven't been able to find the goal that they need. Maybe Jack Steele can provide it.
Kick one in the second term, Jack Steele.
He's walking back like a man that just wants to take this responsibility on.
He's going to have to kick it from outside 50.
His 30th disposal.
Tell you what, the All-Australian committee would have to be certainly thinking about Jack Steele in their team.
Jack Steele to take it out to 28 points. And almost a bridge too far for the Swans. Runs out to the right. Hooks it going for the extra yardage. Still Sydney hang in there.
23 points. They're going to have to get a move on though, Sydney. 4 goals in under 10 minutes. That was Jack Steele's 30th disposal. By the way, another 6 clearances, 7 tackles, and 1 goal, 1. He's done it all again. And Lloyd forced to go long down the line. Dawson, we know, can take a mark, couldn't bring it down. This has been the case most of the night. Saints have got the numbers, and they'll share it around. Steele to Wilkie. Has Ross over the top. Can he think his way through it and find a mark? He pulls the kicking board, cutting across Parker. He's been the everywhere man for the Swans. Then they're going to look to go, and it's Blakey who loves to run, and he's got a paddock, and he's got a one-on-one up ahead. How will it fall? Well done by Highmore. He won the battle. And now Hayward. Can he snap it around the body? He's already got a couple. How will it bounce? Oh. It favours the Swans. And they are back within 3 goals. And it's nervous times if you're a Saints fan.
That is a great finish from Hayward, and there's an inquisition going down. St Kilda defence. Callum Wilkie not happy with the effort of Seb Ross. Gave him a fierce talking to. You called it. Highmore did a great job to create that spoil. But there just wasn't enough pressure coming down to give him a chop out to help him out. That's a great spoil one-on-one in a tough situation.
The bodywork of Hayward to begin with. Just to shove Caulfield out of the way. He wanted it more. Wasn't a clean pick-up to begin with, but just kept tracking the footy. That's hunting the ball. Great lesson for any young player. And then to be able to finish after the amount of running that he'd done at that speed.
Massive game-on situation here now.
Big clearance. Parker on the bench, so McInerney's in there. Gets straight through Jones. McInerney comes like an express train. Row bottom. Can he release by hand to Kennedy? Hurried snap round the corner. Caulfield. Had a good evening as Nick Caulfield. Game 50. Back in the side, returning from injury. Splits it to the near side. Go, 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 they're telling Stevens. Go, Dill. He takes the bounce, measures the ball. Knocked off the footy was Hayward. The Saints have got the answers coming the other way. There's Bytel. The sub looking for Marshall. Gets a hand up.
Big contest win from Darren Joyce. And the follow-up.
Sydney are pressing. St Kilda have kicked 5 behinds in this final term. The Swans with the only 2 goals. That's a nice kick, though, by Marshall to Kent. He's applied that forward pressure, been lively with the 2 goals. Forced just to kick this one into the pocket. No King, remember, so Sharman flies at the back. Blakey All the Saints fly for the ball, and the Swans stay down at ground level. And they've got a bit more running their legs at the moment, although Parker went to Shepherd for Kennedy.
Hold in, Sydney. Kennedy.
And they'll get the free kick anyway.
Release. It's a downfield free. It's a downfield free. Here, your kick. Come on, Mark. Downfield free. Yep, you can take it. Time back on.
So it was a downfield free kick. It was meant to be for Wicks. He ran off. The umpire said, oh, you can take it, Joey. And the kick goes inboard. He's missed Florent. So an opportunity opens here for the Saints. Kent sees a one-on-one, goes in that direction. It's Steele who's having a spell forward on Rampy. Missed the handball. Goes back at it again. That was a clever handball. And the advantage should be paid. And it's going to be Cooper Sharman with a finish.
Well, we spoke about Jack Steele earlier. Get your best contest players in the position where you want to win contests. This is against Dane Rampy. Don't forget, one of the best defenders in the comp. Out of position, just does what he needed to do. Spoil won it. Didn't hit the handball, and the ability to then follow up, quick hand release. That's a big-time play from the captain right when the Swans were coming.
They needed to see some return, the Saints, and they finally got 13 inside 50s to kick their first goal of the final term. And that's 13-7, so they've dominated territory. They haven't been able to capitalise. Now they get a goal desperately needed.
Sharman with his second. King subbed out for Bytel. Groin situation. Spent some extended time off the ground in the third quarter. Tried to restart the final term. Max King wasn't able to do so. Saints not quite home, but gee whiz, they're at the front door. Ross wobbles the ball forward. It's a hacked kick, might work out. Kent comes out. Now McKenzie wraps it down towards the pocket. Cunningham should mark, does.
We saw the conservative kick from that spot earlier. Now's the time. You've got to roll the dice if you're the Swans.
And they will. They will.
That's exactly what they try and do, but it's picked off by Dunstan. Doesn't need to rush from here, just needs to think his way through it. Has Membry in the pocket. Goes in that direction now. He got some separation from McCartan, and that was a good kick.
Yeah, you can see a couple of the Swans defenders looking at each other. That's very un-Sydney-like. Leaving one side open, plenty of space for a player to run into, unattended. A really good kick from Dunstan. Just waited for it to unfold.
The forwards have been working hard off the ball, haven't they, all game? Creating some separation and some space for themselves. It was Membry on that occasion. He received a nice ball from Dunstan. So this one to probably make it a bridge too far for the Swans. It's already at 23 points. It's going to be still 23 points. He doesn't even make the distance, and Hickey's the only one at home.
They just don't know how to nail the coffin lid shut, do they?
He needs to bite something off here. Oh, gee, he runs around effectively in the end. Jason Dunn still sounded a bit concerned about that, but it works out momentarily to Kennedy. Tapped over the back. Jones is in front of Parker. Parker won't let him go. Jones does really well to get rid of the ball by hand. Take on a couple of tacklers as the Saints. How serious is the call for the players?
Well, they thought Luke Dunstan was gone, but just as he was going to ground in the tackle, it looked like he got a little handball out.
Ross drives it into the pocket. Membry's been lively. Wants to get on that right boot. Can he find a mark? He sees McKenzie. Well done, Blakey. Got the fist in. Crouch goes hard. Still with the Saints. Can this time they put the nail in the coffin? Jones to the top of the square. Which way is the free kick going to go? It's going to go the way of the Saints.
Oh, I'd like to see a replay of that.
Holding of the jumper from umpire Lee Fisher, and this will be the nail in the coffin you've been asking for, Jason.
He couldn't believe it, Fox. He goes, me? Really? Although I actually thought it was going to go against Kent to the naked eye. The umpire had a great view of it.
Like this game, Dean Kent. This will be disposal number 15. And it'll be coming up for goal number 3. To seal the victory for the Saints, you would think. And the weekend of upsets continue.
Well, we saw one paid in the first term to Lance Franklin. I think
there was a little stretch of the jump early, which is what the umpire saw, but that's a tough one.
There was some high contact going back the other way at the end of it.
It's that jumper stretch there.
Yeah.
And that came first before the throat push.
And then the throat push. Oh, gosh.
St Kilda take on the Cats and Fremantle round out their home and away season. And the Swans take on the Kangaroos and the Gold Coast.
Forward line functioned really well today. Good spread of goal kickers. 4 from Higgins, 3 from Kent, 2 from Membry, 2 from Sharman, 2 from King. So everyone's chipped in.
Looking for icing on the cake now. The Saints through Crouch. Squeezes it forward. And he hits Membry, who has been very lively, as you said, Joey. He's had a good second half. He's picked a couple.
The whole forward line's been lively, Howard.
Yeah.
The movement in front of the ball has really troubled the Sydney defenders today. They haven't been able to settle. It's created confusion. There's been a lot of blocks and working together. So it's as ballistic as you've seen St Kilda for a long time in front of the footy.
Membry to put a cherry on top from 50. Really gave it an opportunity. Slides across the face. And Marshall claims the mark. Called to play on. Hand pass in the area towards Higgins. Wouldn't he love a fifth? Spiraled out of defence. Touch ball. Jones will have to go. Shorts the ball. Marshall again. Hickey battling for the footy. Comes back the way of Rowbottom. Swans run through the middle. Blakey ran out of room. Hand pass to himself. Stretches the body out in front. Buddy hasn't been a factor today. Kicked one goal. And Wilkie, I reckon he might get some appreciation from the coach in the votes.
Good effort from Blakey. He tried the old KB. Handball to himself. Run through the tackle and keep going.
Parker with another clearance, number 12 for him. It's just forward to the centre, but Steele. He's been excellent again. That's a clever kick out to Brad Hill, who created a lot of run and drive off half-back in this game. Disposal 26, that wasn't one of his best. Chopped off by Lloyd. And they've just got to go for broke now, the Swans. Goes to Reid. Has Kennedy over the top, and if he can turn and go, he had Heaney because Stinkler came off Heaney. He won the contest and then drives it in deep. And they'll just take the field position for the time being, the Saints, and set up again. There's a rocket down the middle from Rampy. Goulden, as we've spoken about, one of the best kicks inside 50 in the comp, just missed Papley on that occasion. Jones throws it on the boot and will find Burns. It's been a really impressive night by the Saints. And it does keep their slim finals hopes alive. They're going to have to win their last 2 games. But there's still a chance. It's been off the back of that man, Rowan Marshall. 25 disposals for him is a career high. On screen, the big man comes off for a well-earned break. He's never had 25 touches in a game, so he'll be pleased with his performance. A big fella, career high. And you can see they're high up in the ranking points as well.
Another great night for Jay Steele. Sydney, Jason, what do they walk away thinking?
Well, they're coming off 5 wins in a row. I think they're probably tired being on the run. Yeah, when you're on the road like this all the time, at some stage there has to be a slight drop-off mentally. And if you're 98%, I think what we're seeing already this season, if you're not, everything isn't finely tuned, you can get tipped over by teams right down the other end of the table. We've seen it all too often.
A long time on the road. Much 8 weeks for the Swans. Kennedy, Webster, Jones slung in the tackle. Found Dunstan. Vitell on for Max King. Got a groin issue. Contest on the wing. Membry, he's had a big second half. Hand pass across to Butler, takes one bounce. Runs out to the right. Butler squaring ball is quite fantastic to Burns. Lloyd arrives really late in the scene. We'll get another opportunity here. Lloyd gets the hands up to McCartan, the Swamp. Saints are trying to swarm the ball, hoping for an extra goal. Comes back out towards Burns. Now Sinclair tries to burst through a couple of tacklers. Dawson, Cunningham, Rampy.
Straight down the middle to Parker, who's probably been the Swans' best tonight. To Rowbottom. And again, St Kilda's defence standing tall. Highmore finishing the game how he started in excellent fashion. Nick Caulfield in game 50 will enjoy this one. Being in and out of the side, and Zach Jones will as well against his old team. As was this man, Tim Embry. Played one game for the Swans back in 2014. Until Buddy Franklin arrived and thought it was best to seek opportunities elsewhere. He's been a wonderful player for the Saints.
Not the worst move, Joey.
No. And they're going to wind down the clock here. And they're going to lead at every change. And in fact, they're going to win every quarter. And the Saints have found a way to stop the red-hot Swans. And they just keep their slim finals chances alive with a big 29-point win.
Saints by 5 at quarter time, 18 at the half, 24 at the final break. Sydney got a couple early to get back within a couple of kicks, but Sharman with his second and Kent with his third sealed the deal. That's the only downside. Max King with a groin issue. You can see the ice rather heavily there on the right side. Secured by 29 points, 93 to 64, equal career high. That man Higgins with 4. And the Saints season stays alive. As we have a look at the live ladder, Sydney in 5th position, St Kilda battling with numerous teams. Carlton lost today, Essendon yet to play. They take on the Dogs tomorrow. Fremantle, Richmond had a win over the Kangaroos, the Giants as well, and West Coast still to take on Melbourne. So it's a congested ladder, but the Saints have kept themselves in the game. Sarah Jones will be rounding up an interview down there shortly, and she's ready to roll. Sarah.
Jack, congratulations.
Sorry guys,
you get yourself in the finals race, your 100th game as
I
a
fell
Saint.
asleep.
How are you feeling right
honestly
now?
Pretty pleased with that result after what we dished up last week.
I apologise.
We came out and we knew Sydney a real good contest team, and they were going to put us to the sword. So glad that we could sort of match it with them and get the 4 points.
It was brilliant pressure right from the outset, and it upset their turnover game. Was that a big focus?
Yeah, definitely. They're a really good pressure team, so like I said before, we just try to match it with them and go with them and bring our pressure. So that's what happened. And we got lucky at times, and we're just pleased with how it went and how the boys responded. We played like a team for 4 quarters, and it's something we've struggled to do for the first part of the year, so it's good.
Inaccuracy made things really difficult last week, but right from the beginning of tonight, you set the tone with some really efficient inside 50 work. How does that help the mood of the group and being able to propel that forward to a result?
Oh, well, it just puts a bit of scoreboard pressure on the opposition, something we haven't had for a long time, and something we were renowned for last year, so it's pleasing to be able to get a few shots on and kick straight early, but yeah, it's just about being consistent with it and going forward.
The race for 8th spot is so tight and so hot right now. You've got the Cats and the Dockers to come. Do you feel like you can get a bit of a roll on now? Yeah, definitely. I think this win will really lift the belief of the group, and we matched with Geelong last time we played here at Marvel, and yeah, Freo will be a challenge as well, but we're really looking forward to the last 2 rounds and giving us the best chance to make finals. Well done today. Congratulations on the milestone for you and an incredible individual performance. Well done. Beautiful, thank you. Cheers, Jack. Cheers,
yeah, fantastic performance from Jack Steele. Again, he just continues to win the footy and have a massive impact on games.
I'm gonna sit down.
Spoke about the accuracy, boys. Such an important part of the game, particularly early when they were right up
So
and in the
I
contest.
don't know what
to
happened,
come out and kick
but
7 goals straight
the
to begin with,
scoreboard here,
just
St
fuels your
Kilda,
belief
they
to
were
be able to
93 and
match it with one of the
60
form sides of the competition. So
course,
can't
that
underestimate
is
what a big impact that has
basically very
psychologically on the
surprising.
group.
And today going into it, the Swans were their bogey team. Let's be honest, they'd beaten them 11 out of the last 12 times.
Sydney
the Sydney
was,
Swans,
and
and
surprising
particularly at Marvel. Marvel Stadium had given them a touch-up. So, as Jack Steele said, just to get that scoreboard pressure on early, give themselves some belief and some confidence, and then they were able to carry it on in the game. So it was a big win by the Saints. They keep their finals hopes alive. They led from start to finish.
Very good game, though.
The boys will wrap up after this, but it was St Kilda Saturday night at Marvel Stadium with a big 29-point win over the Sydney Swans.
Wow. I'm shocked right now that St Kilda won against Sydney. They're one of the best team Sydney, and they have lost. Alright, this match right here, I think it's going intense right now. I think there's legitimate lots of other players trying to get the ball straight away for this match because Port are winning by 4. So, man, that was, surprising that St Kilda win. I know I was gonna fall asleep, guys, alright, because because of the event. But if there was audio and the screen was black, that's another option. But I just had to find a way to get. It's just the reason why is just because of my TV settings where it saves power and stuff like that. So I need to try and find a way to get rid of that. So apologies that it went black, but still, you guys heard the audio, so it was another option. But honestly, though, guys, I'll get better sleep for later today. I might play Fortnite for a little bit, and then I'll get better sleep later today. I might have a video tomorrow. If we have enough storyline related stuff for Fortnite or something else to talk about, a few collaborations, stuff like that. And then we'll stream the Essendon and Western Bulldogs game, and then have some fun. So I appreciate everyone coming out to the stream today. I apologize that it was black, but still, if you guys heard the audio, that was another good option, but I had to, my body started defunctioning because I haven't, because my body knows I was very tired, so that's why I fell asleep. So, it's gonna happen. When you're streaming and you're in bed on your phone, and a couple minutes later you just fell asleep. But usually I just wake up within 25, 30 minutes. But it's alright though. But you guys heard the audio was okay. But you just have to know the scoreboard. That's basically it. If your team is winning, your team is losing, that's basically the most important thing is the scoreboard. So once I showed it to you guys, it was okay. But if you guys like these streams of me streaming the footy, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, like, and have notifications turned on, would be appreciated. And if everyone wants to play Fortnite, I'm wide awake now. But I'll play Fortnite with my friends for a little bit. If you guys want to play Fortnite, let's see. This is my epic, okay? So this is my epic. Alright, make sure you type that in. That will take you to my you have to type this on the epic game Fortnite. Search friends, type that in, send friend request, and I'll accept it because I'll be playing with my other friends. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming out to the stream today. I'll see you all guys tomorrow for another live stream. Western Bulldogs vs Essendon. But if there's no video tomorrow, then you will see my stream, pop up. So make sure you guys get set a reminder when the stream is scheduled. I just saw on Twitter now that Damien Hardwick just did a press conference a couple hours ago, so I'll watch that. Chill and watch YouTube for a little bit later on. But yeah, guys. So I appreciate everyone coming to the stream and watching the footy, and I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. And stay safe, and take care. Talk soon, and goodbye.